The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Cheese? Have you eaten cheese?
It's National Cheese Day.
I was on a bus and it was the middle of the night, and I had a box of crackers and I had a can of Easy Cheese. But it was the middle of the night, so I could not see how much Easy Cheese I was applying to each cracker. So each bite into the cracker was a surprise as to how much Easy Cheese I had applied. Which makes me believe they should have a glow-in-the-dark version of Easy Cheese. It's not like the product has any integrity to begin with. If you buy a room temperature cheese that you squeeze out of a can, you probably won't get mad because it glows in the dark as well.
Taking government cheese. Couldn't take a dump for 2 weeks.
How much cheese have you eaten today?
Happy National Cheese Day. Showtime.
Oh, Christ. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Know what I'm saying? We welcome you to the program. It is early, by God. It's Tuesday morning. We do have a hell of a situation here on the program. Our top guy, the OG of this operation, Josh, poor bastard, got sick a few days ago. He was making out with an on-duty police officer or something. There's a great story behind. Josh got sick. Sick as a dog. If you're listening yesterday, you might be aware of this. He's gone and lost his voice. The prick can't talk, and he gets paid to jaw jack on a radio show. It's kind of like when the drummer from Def Leppard had one of his arms fall off on him all those years ago. You know, the dude's a drummer, and he's got an arm off.
Pretty crucial for what he does for a living.
Yeah, what the hell is he supposed to do now?
My voice is totally gone now.
I'll explain that in a minute. But that's what it reminded me right away. Rick Allen from Def Leppard. He's got an arm off. Josh is a world-renowned radio personality, and he can't talk. He's over there in the next radio studio. Josh is here. He just can't say Dick Tracy. So we're working, you just heard it, we're working on a gimmick called Robo-Josh, where he's going to try and communicate with us using a robotic computer voice. I just heard it a minute ago.
My voice is totally gone now.
There you go.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Listeners.
Yeah, I knew there'd be self-deprecating vibes even to Robo-Josh, where he doesn't...
This is stuck and stupid. Sorry, autocorrect.
Robo-Josh.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
It does.
I like that.
It's much better than the solution I came up with yesterday when you told me his voice was getting even worse. I said, well, your wife knows American Sign Language. Have her teach you real quick. We'll set up a web feed, and then people can watch you do sign language.
That's a terrible idea.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So we're not BSing. That's really Josh on the other end of that robot voice. He's got a computer in front of him, and he's going to try. It's a work in progress, but so far it sounds pretty good. We'll see if we can hear, and we'll see if we can keep Robo-Josh in the mix. It sounds like everything's going to be okay.
I can also sound like a sci-fi robot.
That one's super cool. I really like that one.
It was very Transformer-like. Whatever vibe you want to put out, Robo-Josh, is fine by us. But you said a minute ago, really, your voice is absolutely 100% gone.
Feeling way worse today, unfortunately.
You're feeling way worse than you did yesterday. When we talked
Getting my butt kicked.
You're getting your ass kicked by this sickness. That sucks.
Sorry, Robo-Josh.
I'm sorry to real Josh, Robo-Josh, all different versions of
Yeah,
Josh.
it's crazy. It's crazy in here because I have a mute now. Josh is just texting on G-Chat, and then I'll just respond with my voice to him. It's crazy. It's so weird.
Well, that is an odd setup, yeah.
So that's the situation we're in. I was trying to think earlier before we went on skis. Oh, maybe Robo Josh can answer the question. I was trying to think of the last time this program aired where I had no ability to talk with the real Josh. Robo Josh, if you can come up with something, go ahead. It's decades.
Hasn't happened since I've been here.
We're talking maybe 20 years. I don't know.
Yeah, because even when you guys had COVID, you could still talk through, like, talkbacks and stuff like that.
What do you mean? What does it mean to talk through talkbacks?
Like, you could talk to each other with a button, from home. You could talk to the studio.
Well, I'm talking about when the show was... I don't know what you mean by that. I'm talking about live on the air. When's the last time Josh was unable to actually speak on the air?
I don't remember a time. Maybe when Wapple joined the Taliban?
God, I forgot when you joined the Taliban.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I have no memory of when Wapple joined the Taliban.
Yeah, it was like when I was 8, I think. I went through some tough times.
I hate doing this live on the air, but why does your microphone sound so awful today?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's not just me.
No,
everything sounds like static to me.
Flip some switches over there. Finger some buttons. I think you can figure it out. You're an engineer, right, of sorts? It sounds like someone sitting on your face right now.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got Robo Josh. We're going to try to do our best to plug away. How do they call it? Chip away and get through the broadcast. And hopefully you'll be feeling better soon. I talked to you. We didn't talk. We texted yesterday, and you said maybe you were feeling a little bit better. It sounds like that's not the case anymore.
And we always say this when Josh gets sick. It's just so unfair because of the 5 of us, he by far lives the healthiest lifestyle. Doesn't leave the house. Doesn't do too much. Gets on the treadmill every day. The rest of us, not so much. And then it's Josh ends up getting sick. It's just not fair.
Not only is he the healthiest of the 5 of us, but maybe if you put 5,005 people in a room, he might be the healthiest out of all of them.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, it blows. All right. I got text messages coming in about Robo Josh. Robo Josh's mother, a listener says, is the new auto blow sex bot. They even want to take cheap shots at Robo Josh's mother. Doesn't seem right.
Kangaroo panties.
When in doubt, just dump a classic line on us, huh, Robo Josh?
Go for the cheap pop every
Kangaroo
time.
panties. Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Our intro mentioned today is Cheese Day. That's so boring. Cheese Day.
I mean, it's a great product, but where do you really go with it?
I don't know. Also, today is Hug Your Cat Day. I saw today is Punk Day.
Punk.
That reminds me of junior high. We hard rockers used to clash, no pun intended. We hard rockers at my junior high, we used to clash with the punk rockers. We hated punk rock. We did.
Yeah, screw punk rock.
We hated it. I still mostly hate punk rock, especially the pop punk that Dana listens to.
Yeah,
Dana's little pop punk bands that he listens to on the weekends. I don't like that stuff. But back at junior high, the kids in the Ozzy Osbourne T-shirts and the kids in the Misfits T-shirts, we did not get along. We did not.
Did it ever lead to any fights or anything, or is it just kind of just side-eyed?
Jaw-jacking. Mm-hmm. The Misfits suck, we would say from across the hallway, and then the Misfits kids would say something about Motley Crue or Ozzy Osbourne or AC/DC. Yeah. Angus Young is a bitch, whatever, you know. The Circle Jerks. I got to hand it to the punk bands back in the day. They did have some cute names.
The Circle Jerks?
You never heard of the Circle
No.
Jerks? They had some cute names. I'll give them that. All right. Later on this morning, Dick Bremer and Janel Klein will be joining the program.
That's wonderful.
Right around 7:30. Haven't talked to Dick Bremer in quite a stretch of time with our week's vacation, so I'm pretty excited. Janelle, whatever, we just saw her the other night.
Yeah, no biggie. We see her all the time.
See her all the time. Dick Bremer and Janel Klein will be here about 7:30. We do have the makings for one of the most immature-sounding conversations in radio history. I'm 2 pages deep in poop-related material.
Oh, no.
Right here in front of me. And it's not me. These are 2 of the top stories of the day. One has to do with the term ghost poop.
I know what that is.
Yeah, speaking of junior high, I remember that term from back in those days. The term ghost poop is trending.
And you've got that ghost poop.
Pardon me?
And you've got that ghost poop.
They've got that ghost poop? Josh, are you now a woman? Is Robo Josh now a lady?
He identifies in a lot of different ways.
Okay, that's fine. Ghost poop is trending on, how do you call it, TikTok. It says here it's been on the Urban Dictionary for a decade, so it's nothing new. And like I just said, I remember it from back years and years when I was a 12, 13-year-old kid. It says here most people had never heard of it, so in case you're one of those people, what does it mean? It has nothing to do with supernatural spirits or anything like that. It can be used in one of 2 ways, or I guess it can be used in 2 ways, or sometimes both. It's when you use the toilet. Are you following this, Ashley?
Yeah, so far.
You sit down on the, and then you're there to make a deuce. You look in the bowl and there's nothing there because it sunk to the bottom of the toilet and it vanished.
Just fired you right through.
Okay, is that what you remember the term being, Dana?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's not what I remember hearing back when I was a 12, 13-year-old kid. What I heard was the other like I said, there's 2 ways you can use the term, or the 2 ways that it's defined. This is what I learned in 6th, 7th grade. When you've produced something, right, on the toilet, but then there's nothing on the paper when you wipe skis.
That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that one too, and I actually know a guy who claims he's never had to wipe in his life. I know.
I would stay away from that guy. He smells weird.
It's the most absurd thing ever. He brags about it. He goes, I have a clean bottom. I've never had to wipe once. He goes, I'll do it just to check, but there's never been anything on it.
Stop it.
It's just the dumbest thing
that
to brag
dude's
about
ridiculous.
that he's clearly making up. And he would bring this up in social settings too, as like hey, check out how cool I am.
Come on, dude. That's insane. So I don't know what is given way on TikTok. I don't know if there's just a real lack of interesting new information on. Never saw it. TikTok, never saw it. I don't know what's going on, but for whatever reason, everyone's talking about this ghost poop and the definitions of ghost poop.
It's good to see TikTok bringing back the classics sometimes.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're doing. People online are just loving this. Also, people online are asking about the health implications of, there's no way to operate here other than just go ahead and say it. People are wanting to know the health implications of a turd that sinks so fast in your toilet. When people heard about this, they thought, does that mean there's something wrong with me?
Oh, like it's so heavy it just immediately just plummets?
Right. Interesting that people took it in that direction. Maybe they wanted to take it in that direction just to, add some maturity to the conversation. The good news is a turd that sinks right on down your toilet where you don't even see the sumbitch, there's nothing to worry about. It usually means you've ate plenty of fiber.
Oh, so it's better, I guess.
I guess.
So Josh has a clip he wants to play. It's about a TikTok lady talking about ghost pooping.
The ghost poop. The poop that you look in the toilet, you're like, I'm sure I pooped, but it's gone. Well, it's gone. Why? Because you probably have enough fiber. You even wipe and you're like, I thought I pooped. I don't see anything. It's because you've got that fiber. You've got enough of those essential fatty acids. Your circadian rhythms are in tune with nature, with the light and dark cycle of the day. And you've got that ghost poop.
So that's some a doctor or something explaining things on TikTok.
And you've got that ghost poop.
Good that a professional is there. Wapple, I've received a text message from Robo Josh, and he says the bit is already dead. It's causing some technical problems over there for the both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. That's the end of Robo Josh. He died.
He'll now be sound effect Josh.
Okay, fine.
That works.
It didn't last long. It was fun for a minute or two. Okay, but that sucks. Robo Josh is already a goner.
We'll have a funeral for him after the show.
Mm-hmm. So if you have one that drops into the bowl and it disappears down the pipes, it's not a bad thing. Not needing to wipe. Like Dana was saying, he's got some cyborg friend who's never wiped. Not needing to wipe just means it was, quote, very well-formed, firm, and easily passed. Oh, okay, there's also a third, lesser-used definition of ghost poop. And that's when you think you cut a turd, but it was just gas.
You're just blasting the porcelain with some fresh air.
Yeah.
That is also probably not a big deal if it's every now and then. But if it happens a lot, it could be a sign of things like IBS, which I believe is irritable bowel syndrome.
Yep.
Or Crohn's disease.
I heard Crohn's disease is not fun.
Hey, Josh, write down on a piece of paper and hand it to Wapple since Josh can't talk. What was the gut problem that... There was a guy here in the building who had a terrible gut problem. And on bad days, when the guy was having a bad day and you could tell he was stressed out, we could walk into his office and listen to his stomach just turn over.
Crohn's.
Crohn's?
Yeah, Crohn's disease.
That was Crohn's. That was Josh passed that to you?
And he was on a hole.
He was on a hole? I don't know what that means.
Oh, he was... And he was an a-hole. There we go.
He was on a hole.
Oh, my God.
Wapple.
I guess the passing notes to Wapple isn't going to work either. And he was on a hole.
Yeah, I don't know how I thought the A looked like an O.
Come on, man. Josh can't talk. He needs you to be his voice.
Yeah, my microphone sounds robotic. It's just all go downhill.
And... he was on a hole. What made you think that would make sense?
I don't know.
Ron Burgundy over there.
Yeah.
He'll read whatever is...
Exactly.
You thought that made sense.
Maybe he was just saying it, hoping that it would make some type of inside joke that you would get, Nick.
Pardon me?
Maybe he's just write it out loud thinking, okay, I don't know what this means, but maybe it's an inside joke that Nick will understand.
He's under pressure over there. He's trying to
I'm
speak
just stupid. I like you guys trying to have my back. I'm just dumb.
Oh, man. Yes, there was a dude here years ago whose guts were just torn, and I'm sympathetic to it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the good times that Josh and I had years ago. We also had a few laughs about it. Because we'd tell the guy, we'd walk into his office, and we could tell he was having a bad day because, during a lull in the conversation, you could hear his guts just go,
oh, my gosh.
and we'd say, dude, what was that?
What's
and he'd
going on?
He'd explain to us, I'm stressed out today. The Crohn's is coming after me.
Oh, poor guy.
Horrible. That he was on a hole bit that just actually happened. That reminds me of the old Blee story. How long has it been since I told the Blee story?
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Oh, it's been a long time.
You knew this guy, Wapple.
Yep.
Josh knew this guy. We had an intern many, many, many years ago who, we had fun with this guy. He was just so perfectly clueless. And this was back in the day when we were giving away concert tickets on the air. And we liked to announce the winner's name, as soon as possible. Hey, congratulations to Tony out in Prior Lake. He's what, right? Mm-hmm. So we were giving away some garbage concert tickets, I'm sure. Probably to the Misfits. And the intern hands me and my on-air partner at the time. It wasn't Cubby. This is even before Josh and I got together. My God, this is 30-some years ago. he hands us the piece of paper with the winner's name so we can quickly announce the. And it says here, it says on the sheet of paper, the winner's name is Blee. So then the intern kid actually wrote it down. He wrote, "Congratulations to Blee, B-L-E-E. He won the tickets to go see the Misfits." And he hands it to us live on the radio, and we're like, hang on a second. The winner of the ticket, his name is Blee.
Never heard that name before in my life.
And the intern says, yeah. And we said, no, it's not. And he says, well, yeah, that's what the guy said on the telephone. And we said, what the hell's the matter with you? There's no one on planet Earth named Blee. And the intern got mad at us. He goes, hey, man, get off my ass. That's what the guy said on the telephone. So then live on the radio, we picked the phone up and we said, sir, what is your name? And the guy says, my name is Lee. And we said, okay, that makes sense. Congratulations, Lee.
Not Lee.
We put him back on hold, and we said to the intern, why would you ever think that there was a human being on this planet named Blee?
And you made it sound like you were so confident in it.
Oh, he was pissed off that we challenged him on it.
He thought you guys were the idiots.
Oh, yeah. So the other poop-related news that, again, I'm not just throwing this in here because I think this is, top-quality comedy. These are the two stories that we're seeing everywhere this morning. It's poop-related. We covered ghost poop is the most popular term on TikTok. The other poop-related news is that a poop museum just opened in Arizona. A poop museum opened in Arizona. If you're looking for a road trip, go on over to a town called Williams, Arizona.
I wonder if they give you those nose plugs in the beginning.
I don't think you need it. I don't know, Ashley.
Is it behind glass?
Yes, and also it's a fossilized dinosaur poop.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to be seeing just fresh ones laying there.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's Uncle Donnie's.
They don't let you come in and cut one on a special landmark or something, and maybe yours can be the turd of the day. Like when folks when you go to touristy bars and they put their name and home city up on the wall.
Yep.
Frankie from Terre Haute, Indiana was here. It's not that. It's what did I just say? Fossilized dinosaur turds.
Ugh.
I bet it's nothing pleasant to look at, right? It's near the Grand Canyon. If anybody gets a hard-on, wants to go to the Grand Canyon, maybe you can go to the Williams, Arizona Poop Museum. It's the largest poop museum. Oh, God.
There's more than one.
That's exciting, yeah. They've got around 8,000 pieces of fossilized dinosaur feces, including the largest ever found. They believe it fell out of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, thousands of years ago, whenever the hell the dinosaurs were going town to town. The largest dinosaur turd ever. They think it fell off of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a 2-foot long sumbitch.
Yeah, that looks massive.
Mm-hmm. Got nothing on Randy Marsh, though. I'll tell you that much.
Oh.
I hope they have their own wing dedicated to Randy Marsh at the Poop Museum.
Yeah, wasn't it Wade in Curix?
Yes.
I don't know how he lived through that. It's a free museum. Oh, this is cute. So if you're passing through Williams, Arizona, you can just walk into the joint for free.
They sell pretty cool merch.
Do they have merch?
Yeah, it's got a T-Rex sitting on a toilet.
I could go along with that.
If I stopped for gas nearby and it was across the street, I'd go check it out.
Probably.
And it's got a cute name. Who wants to take a stab at this?
I already know what it is, yeah.
Oh, you guys, it's the Poozeum.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the Poozeum. Other than Josh, there are others who were miserable this morning. Got a text message from Dairy Feeding Jesus. He says, hey, can I get a word up? I'm headed out to feed. Speaking of turds, this guy, I bet he's elbow deep in cow turds daily. Dairy feeding Jesus wants a word up. He's headed out to feed the Holsteins, he says, with a level 7 overhang.
Oof. Good luck.
He says, I wouldn't want it any other way. All right, like I said, Dick Bremer, Janel Klein going to join us. Cubby's here. The sumbitch, poor bastard, just can't make a sound. He's sick. He's lost his voice. We tried Robo Josh. Robo Josh died. Mm-hmm. Very quickly.
Short-lived.
Very quickly. It was like the life of a bumblebee or something. It just was gone before. Maybe we'll work on it. He's the techiest guy I know. We'll try to work on getting Josh on air somehow, some way this morning without making the guy speak. Dick and Janelle, 7:30. We'll be back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
It feels like April is release month. When you get through with that set of stories and it's time to set a new course for the next WrestleMania, and that makes sense if you're going to do what Jim Ross would call a roster purge.
Taking a look at your corporation a couple times a year and realizing that some strength over here or you need to eliminate some. That's all it was.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, wow. Plenty to cover. Plenty to cover here in today's Stupid News Report. We'll get started here with a quick one. Adjust things over here. I'm good. Here's a quick one for you. This here sounds like a dude. Oh, you know people like this. A dude who was inaccurately accused of being funny years ago, and he's still going with it. Which sucks. Because everyone around him has to suffer for that. Like his mother told him when he was 12, you're funny. And he's going on a comedy tour ever since, and he sucks. Also, by the picture I looked at, this dude appears to be in his effing 30s, and he runs around spray painting walls. So that tells you something else. Right there. Here's the deal. We got a derelict here who was, like I said, caught by the cops in his town spray painting nonsense on the walls. That's his thing. But here's where the hilarity kicks in. When the cops asked the peckerhead what his name is, he said, Mr. Monopoly. It's killing you, isn't it?
No
and that's just the opening joke, and any good comic knows that once you've laid that type of foundation down, you got to put the crowd away with a kill shot. And the peckerhead nailed it. So when they asked him his name, he said Mr. Monopoly because it's hilarious. And then when they asked the dude his birth date, he said, of course, 4/20/69.
Oh, that's classic.
Isn't that big?
It's exhausting.
Speaking of fake birthdays, I saw yesterday that it was the 43rd birthday of Hawaii organ donor McLovin. You know, they show his fake ID in Superbad, and yesterday was his fictional birthday.
Who in the living hell follows that kind of thing?
I think a lot of people have the T-shirt of the fake ID, so people kind of remember.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that around. Okay.
Mm-hmm. F me running.
So happy birthday, McLovin.
So, yeah, here's this funny guy. I think all he was waiting for at that point was maybe to be set up for a that's what she said joke, and then he would have been done with his set for the night. And by the way, when I call this guy Peckerhead, I wasn't just trying to insult the guy. If you check out his mugshot, he really does look like a damn penis.
Yeah, he does. And this dude is just high as hell.
Is he stoned?
Oh, my God, yeah. His eyes are glossy. You can see a little red. They're kind of squinted a little bit. He's got a kind of smirk that says...
Is he geefed?
Yeah, he definitely is.
Is his mugshot up on our website?
I can put it up there.
I want folks to see that because I called him Peckerhead for a reason. He looks like a freshly trimmed red-haired penis.
You're correct. He does. And you are also correct about the smirk, Wapple.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mr. Monopoly for 2069.
Definitely. He's got one eyebrow up. Who does he think he is?
Ryan Howard is the name. Didn't he play first base for the Phillies? Anyway, Ryan, 33-year-old Ryan Howard, that's Peckerhead's real name, in addition to criminal mischief charges, he was charged with resisting. So he must have had some kind of little tantrum when the cops made him stop with his spray painting gimmick, and he got charged for providing the cops with that hilarious fake name and date of birth. The cops, they want in on the comedy, so they posted something on social media about Mr. Monopoly now has the chance to, quote, go directly to jail. Rip. So long, Peckerhead.
Literal.
And maybe he's not as freshly trimmed as I led people to believe. He's let the hair, he looks like a penis that has let the hair grow out a little bit. Well, just check it out. You'll know what I'm talking about.
It's like a nice Berber.
So here's the deal. Again, if you're just tuning in, Cubby's sick as a dog. Can't talk. Can't make a sound. But he is here. He made it into work. He's over there just kind of helpless, finger banging a computer. It's a sad sight.
It is. I don't like it.
It doesn't feel good.
No.
This doesn't feel good to not have Cubby on the air. I just had an idea, though. If you're feeling up to it, Josh, we want you involved in one way or another, and we know you can't talk. What if, as I read the rest of the stupid, if you can get on your feet, you could act out what I'm describing in our stupid news stories. It'd be like a game of charades. Would you be willing to try that? I can't see him. I can't see. You'd be willing to try? All right, he's up on his feet. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, he's agreed to do this. He's going to act out what I'm describing in the stupid news. So I'm going to skip to the story over here.
This is going to be so great for us.
Exactly. This is only going to entertain us, and I doubt it's going to last longer than 30 seconds. But I wanted Josh to get involved, so now that he's agreed, I got to skip to this story. I'm sure there are plenty of us, and plenty of you in our listening audience right now who think you work with the ultimate annoying ass clown. Day in, day out, you can't stand them. They never fail to piss you off, annoy you. And that sucks. Feel free to text us about your at-work ass clown and what they do to drive you nuts. We'd love to hear it. 651-989-9393. Text us. Give us a brief rundown about your at-work ass clown, the coworker that day in, day out just annoys the piss out of you. So on the subject of at-work ass clowns, this is an all-timer, and it's great that Josh is going to play this out for us. He's on his feet. He's going to act out what I'm describing in the story. A cook over there at the Olive Garden restaurant in Baltimore, damned Maryland, she had to go ahead and sue because a coworker would not stop dry humping on her. Go ahead, Josh, with the...
He doesn't want me to look.
He wants Ashley to cover her eyes. Oh, dude!
Fake emotions.
He's dry humping the hell out of...
He's got a leg up.
Leg up on the wall, dry... That's perfect. Okay, don't hurt yourself. Sit down. But that was a beautiful and perfect version of dry humping. That's great that he wanted Ashley to close her eyes.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks, Josh.
You can really bring it home, can't you, Cubby? When it from what you just showed us. No wonder your old lady always wants to get it on with you.
He's got some enthusiasm in there.
You know what word came to mind? Torque.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some torque behind that.
Flexibility, too. He got his leg all the way up on the edge of that window.
But I think he's torn a hamstring now.
Now, not only is he sick, he's injured.
Yeah. He's got to crutch around now while he's sick because of his torn hamstring.
Text us about your ultimate annoying at-work ass clowns. Tell us about them. But here's this guy. Well, really, the story is about a young lady. She is the one who has had to go ahead and sue Olive Garden and their parent company and, the whole schmear, because a coworker would not stop dry humping her. It was relentless, the story says. So let me go ahead with this here. Here's how the story was written. When you're here, you're family. That is, if your family members compulsively dry hump you against your will and refuse to stop even after you notify law enforcement. This line cook, young lady, at the Olive Garden in Baltimore, she's suing them over, like I said, a coworker's, quote, incessant rubbing and grinding of his pelvis against her little bottom. Dozens of times a day.
Oh, that's so disturbing.
It really is. Jane Doe, they call her in this lawsuit. She's mad at the bosses at Olive Garden. She says they let the situation get intolerable, so bad she was forced to quit. I mean, if that's all true, that sucks. That's awful. I want to punch the effing guy just hearing about it.
Yeah, props to her for not just doing that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'll give her all the credit in the world for self-control.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds, when you read the story, it sounds like this guy was wide open about his dry humping of this young lady. So what also surprises me, if it's all true, that there were no other coworkers who tuned this guy up.
They let it go on for so long.
Yeah, nobody stepped in.
It can get pretty lawless in the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah, that's true, Apple. But I think that like the people I've worked with in the restaurants I've worked in, the dry humping would get someone would get punished.
We're not talking about somebody. What's this nut checks? What's this
nut taps?
Dudes. We're not talking about silliness like that. We're talking about from what it sounds in the it wasn't just back in the kitchen. Everywhere this young lady went, according to her story, when she would cross the room. Wherever she crossed the room at this Olive Garden, this effing guy would fall from the ceiling or whatever.
That is different.
She wouldn't see him coming, and there we'd be behind her, dry humping her ass.
That's so scary.
So, would you like some Parmesan on your manicotti, and then he's just back there?
He's back there pumping, yeah. So, if that's all true, I can't believe there were no other servers who grabbed this guy by the collar and say, look, I'm going to break your friggin' neck.
Or how didn't a customer say something? Go to the manager and be like, well, this dude's dry humping my server when he's bringing up.
What's this dude doing?
And he's clearly a cook.
Well, she was a cook, but again, wherever she went, the story makes it sound like wherever she went, there he was. Every shift, without fail, consistently rubbed and pressed his crotch against her behind. Several times a shift. And they worked together sometimes more than 20 times in a single 8-hour shift. Does that make sense?
He humped her more than 20 times in a single 8 hours.
Sorry. He humped her more than 20 times in a single 8-hour shift. Anytime she bent over to get ice, he would be directly behind her, pressing up against her. Even when there were multiple routes for this guy to take to get to his workstation, he would come find where she is and give her the pump down.
What a douche.
I mean, that's like a sick animal type behavior. You know what I mean? That's not just douchebag stuff. That's, at any rate, I mean, two sides to every story, of course, but it sounds like an absolute mess. According to the lawsuit, this young lady says at first the coworker was friendly to her, but within a week, the dry humping began.
Within a week?
Yeah, that's quick. Wow.
He just boom, boom, boom. I am, again, floored that if this was all true and it was all happening as out in the open as it's described, that there was no one else working there. Of course, the obvious answer is the bosses should have fired this guy. But on a more street level type situation, there was no other waiter or waitress that just grabbed this guy and said, I'll knock all the teeth down your mouth if you keep this up. But we're surrounded by animals.
It could get very tight on those kitchen lines. Like, so if you're working on one area and you have to get to the other end of the kitchen, there's not much walk room. So you kind of got to scoot behind people. So sometimes it would get kind of awkward.
Accidental brushings happen.
Yeah. And then we had this manager, absolutely loved her. Her name was Judy. and boy, did she have a big booty.
Oh!
And she would be working on the kitchen, and sometimes...
a big can on her?
Yeah, and sometimes I'd just
You're a
be
pig.
I'd just be working sometimes, and all of a sudden, whoa, you just get hit.
She would... Wait a minute. You'd be working.
Yeah.
Judy would have... Her name isn't Judy. It's Julie Marie.
Broody.
Or Broody. She would just turn, and her can would knock you across the room?
So I would be facing one way, she's behind me facing the other way, and you got to open up the drawer, bend down, and grab something, and then all of a sudden, wham! I just get hit.
She'd hit you with her behind.
Yeah.
That's great.
Everyone loved it. It was funny. She went along with it, too. She's like, I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
Is that the one that I had sex with?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No.
And stop putting names on the radio, will you? What's the matter with you?
Yeah. Josh said that's called the moon landing.
When an ass hits you across the room? Or ass to ass? Moon landing?
Typing.
Have them clarify that. When asses make contact?
Yep. Moon landing.
But, me and a gal that Wapple used to work with, we got it on. Anyway. Didn't we, Wapple?
That was like...
No, no, we don't need to know anything else.
No, like, it brought us closer together once I found that out. I was like, oh, wow.
We bonded.
Yeah.
I just worry
Small
about
world.
This gal that you were describing earlier is going to show up at the radio station and punch you in the face.
Oh, no.
Talking about her big bottom.
Not at all.
Ladies don't like that. All right, where am I now? Yeah, we did bond when I told you that. It was a nice moment between the two of us.
Was it a girl that you also had interest in, Wapple?
No.
Okay.
Here's a guy from a place called Muncie, Indiana. And he sounds like just one of those folks who can't help but make things worse for himself. Or one of those folks who can't help but makes things worse for themselves, however is the best way to say that. One bad decision after another type of a guy here. Bo Burchell is the cat's name. He's a 39-year-old. By damn, he is 39. Too dumb to get out of his own way. He had a run-in with the local cops the other night. Here's what happened. Bo was sitting in his car when he spotted a delivery truck full of beer and hooch. He saw the vehicle pull up outside a neighborhood bar by the name of Cheers. So there's Bo sitting in his car, kind of keeping an eye on things. He's shady like that. He sees a beer truck pull up to a neighborhood bar. And a brilliant plan apparently popped into his mind at that moment. Steal the truck, sell the beer and booze, and pay off his drug debts.
Smart.
He saw a way out of his drug debts, which I'm sure weren't his fault. But he went for it. The plan turned to garbage, of course, because Bo is a dum-dum. Later on that same night, Bo was found by police hiding in the woods behind a trailer park. The glamorous side of crime.
Mm-hmm.
When you find yourself at nearly 40 years old hiding in the woods behind the trailer park. He had the truck with all the booze and the beer in it. He was successful in swiping the truck, but police spotted him there in the woods. When police got on the scene, they spotted Bo. They said, I like this part, they said they spotted Bo's ponytail waving in the wind as he ran into the woods.
Majestically swaying through the breeze.
That's a fun mental image.
So they spotted his ponytail, they spotted Bo and the beer truck. Eventually they found him hiding under a bush. Ponytail Bo admitted to snatching the truck as part of a plan to pay off his drug debts. He hoped to, sell the beer and booze to his bros or something. Apparently he had also stolen a skid steer loader earlier the same day. I assume he planned on selling that too to keep the neighborhood dope dealers off his ass. The skid steer is how you say it, was worth $60,000. The box truck worth $50,000. All the booze and beer inside the truck was worth $12,000. So he's finally gone and done it now. Stupid ponytail Bo.
So now he's got to go steal something to pay for the drugs and the front loader or the skid loader and the truck and the booze. He's really got to find something big now.
He's got to draw up a new plan.
Maybe cut that ponytail, too. It seems like that might have did him in a little bit.
Like, get a new hairdo.
Friggin' ponytail.
I feel like guys with ponytails will never cut their ponytail.
Well, we know one guy who gave up. I tied my hair up. Well, ponytail, does that mean braided?
No.
Oh, I used to throw mine in a ponytail of sorts years and years ago. We know a guy who wore one for forever and ever around the radio station. I never thought he'd lose it, but he did. It depends. Like the real serious hippie types, oh yeah, you'd have to hold them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most dudes can, what's the word I'm looking for? Separate themselves from their ponytail after a certain amount of time.
One of my buddies, he had a rat tail.
Okay, I think I know a guy who wears that right now. He looks terrible.
Yeah, it's a horrible look.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's in the Doink Gang. So everyone wanted to cut it, and he was so nervous that someone was going to cut it, he started a second rat tail under his first rat tail.
He's weird for that.
That's some rat tail devotion right there.
Wow.
Well, that's a level of paranoia there that I think might be the side effect of some heavy drug use. That's my assumption there. He's so paranoid about losing his one rat tail that he's gone on and grown a second one.
Yep.
He's paranoid that someone will cut it when he's not looking.
Oh, yeah. Or, falls asleep on the couch or something like that. Someone will cut it.
Is he on acid or something?
No.
Why does he have this paranoia?
Just everyone would always come up and be like, God, I just want to cut that. It looks so terrible.
So he's been threatened.
Yep.
He's been directly threatened.
Yep. And now he has them all cut, and he's like, buzz cut.
I thought I looked pretty sexy when I had the ponytail pouring down between my muscular back muscles.
I always thought it was a cool look. I just never had the patience to grow it that far.
Well, patience. All you got to do is kind of just not go to the barber shop.
But I just start to look so unsheveled. I guess that's kind of hilarious for me to say that I looked unsheveled, but...
Yeah, because you look like garbage right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right, Ashley?
Yeah.
Ashley said that
100%.
when you walked in this morning. She said, Dana looks like garbage.
Yeah, I said, look at him.
Yeah.
What has he been through?
What's wrong with you, man?
All right, how about this deal here? The airport smuggling gimmick. Man, week in, week out on the Stupid News Report. We get bombed with airport smuggling adventures.
They can be fun.
Yeah, and we try to pick out the fun ones, absolutely. Cubby picked out a fun one here, if you ask me. This year's story comes from India. And again, if you're just tuning in and you don't hear Josh with all his smart mouth comments, you're not going to hear him. Not for today. Because he can't talk. He's lost his voice. He's very sick. Can't talk. Josh picked this one out. This story comes from, how do I say this? India. A female flight attendant type of a character was busted trying to smuggle gold from town to town by way of her flight attendant gig, she probably thought. You know, who would suspect me? I'm a flight attendant. I'm working here. So she got busted. The fun part, she was smuggling the gold in her dirty little bottom. Oh. The old school method.
Yeah, I guess if I had to choose between both locations down there, I'd probably go the back door route.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why do you say that?
There's just more chance of, I guess, lack of a better word, infection of some sort, or...
When you go front door, there's more of a chance of a terrible infection.
Yeah, something itchy.
Well, I have more questions. You seem, you're the only one here hauling around that type of gear.
Yep.
So, well, actually, no. I could ask anyone the question that I'll explain. So this gal went old school. She just fired the contraband up the damn cornhole, like our forefathers did. Okay, here's where I have a question for Ashley. Yeah, okay. I think I have a handle on this now. 960 grams of gold were pulled out of this gal's can. Is that a lot for a female rectum? Do you know the general capacity?
It seems like a lot. A little high, on the high end for sure. 160 grams?
960 grams.
900.
That's
I don't know
over 2 pounds.
2 pounds. I don't know anything about grams. I don't take drugs.
That's crazy.
It's 2.11 pounds of gold up the keister.
That's so much.
I mean, I've seen some movies where I'm surprised what can be temporarily housed in that area.
Well, women have like those weird, they're like kind of like kettlebells that they do like pelvic exercises with, and they're like weighted. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole one time.
What do you hang it? You hang it from something?
Yeah.
What do you hang it from?
From the front door.
Oh, yes, I have seen that.
So maybe.
Yeah, that's how you strengthen it.
So
Right.
maybe she does that on the side, both.
But this was backdoor.
Yeah, maybe she does it back there.
Backdoor kegels?
I wonder if you
Yeah,
can.
hanging weights from your.
Yeah, she's working her butt out.
Oh, boy. Literally.
So I got to get back to this now. Yeah, I've heard of this. I've seen some things. You hang weights. Oh, okay. I think I have a handle on this now. There's front door insertion, and it's that whatever is inserted is connected to some weights.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so you're saying, there we go. Now I understand. Maybe she does that with the backyard, too, to strengthen 960 grams of gold were in this gal's bottom. Now she's got to sit for a while. At least she can finally sit comfortably. But she's got to go ahead and do 2 weeks in a damn women's prison. I thought you'd get in a little more trouble than that for 960 grams of gold being smuggled. I guess drugs, maybe the punishment would be more severe, but it's India. I don't know Dick Tracy about India. Word is this gal was suspected of being a beehole gold smuggler for quite a while, and the cops finally decided to pounce, and it paid off.
It'd be embarrassing if it didn't. Check it out up there, and they're there's nothing.
If they were dead wrong about her, that would be embarrassing. Embarrassing. We know it's you. You know what about me? We know you're the ones putting gold up their beehole. Get in here. That would be embarrassing. People would be fired.
You know somebody an apology there.
A listener, Kidney Stone Jesus, says he knows something about this. That's $49,000 worth of gold this gal had in her Canberry.
Yeah, I was just looking that up. It looks like a pound of gold is like $24,000. That's insane.
Here's Snot Rocket Sheezes. She says, "Are you effing kidding me? I had an ear weight." An ear weight? Like an earring?
Like, you know how people get gauges in their ears?
Oh, no.
Yep.
I've always found that to be deeply disturbing. I had an ear weight that was 90 grams, and I couldn't wear them. If I turned my head too quick, I would knock my own ass out. So this is in reference to the, what did I say, 960 grams of gold in the gal's can. Snot Rocket Sheezes is saying 90 grams was heavy enough for her ear gauges. Okay, so now we're getting a better idea of just how serious a job this was for that beehole smuggler. Boy, she had to pinch hard, I bet, the entire time to keep that from falling right out onto the floor. Have you ever done those Kegel exercises you were describing, Ashley?
No, never. They scare me. They look very intimidating.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
Yep.
You say you put too much weight down there, you pull your insides out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
it comes out with it. It's scary when we tell stories about guys that try to strengthen their wiener too. They put like towels and weights and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Just don't mess with that stuff.
Josh just said he got done with his third set of butt kegels.
He just got done?
Yep.
He's over there working out?
Yep.
Nice.
Nice
he's on the fourth right now.
It's nice that he's comfortable enough to do them in front of you, Wapple.
Hey, anything goes when me and Josh are in the same studio.
All right, we got to get going here shortly.
Oh, sorry, Dana. It was in your chair.
That's true. He is in my chair that I normally sit in each day.
Josh is doing butt kegels in the chair that Dana normally sits in. We got to get going, so this is a quick one. This won't take us too long, I don't think. because I doubt there's any truth to this story at all, but I'll go ahead anyway. A woman called into an Australian radio show and claimed that she fed her dead grandmother's ashes to her brother as part of a prank.
Oh, okay, Cartman. Didn't he do something like that?
Yeah, Scott
Tenorman's parents.
Made him into chili.
Put him in a meat grinder.
Oh.
Okay, one more time. Gal calls an Australian radio show. I bet they talk a lot of hockey. Claimed that she fed her dead grandmother's ashes to her brother as part of a prank.
So my nan passed away in August last year and got cremated. My brother got out of jail not too long ago and thought it'd be funny to prank him. And I put some of Nan's ashes in the pasta sauce.
The Canadian accent. Tough to follow. The woman says she goes by the name of Cheyenne, and she told this BS story on an episode of a side project you guys should probably be aware of at this point. It's a show called Fifi, Fev, and Nick. Fifi and I have been tight for years. Fev and I are just getting to know each other. So the gal says, the gal who allegedly, quote, called in, she said she poured her dead grandma's ashes into pasta sauce or something. This never happened.
That would not be a good prank. That's stupid.
Yeah, it
gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
You ate Nana. Heck no.
Now then, she goes on to tell the radio program that she has a weird addiction to ashes, or specifically to her grandmother's ashes. She believes that eating them. So she ate some too. And she thinks it helped her to connect with her dead grandmother. She says, I feel like we're closer than ever.
She might need some help.
Even after death, she's closer than ever with her grandmother. Because she ate her grandmother. What was left of her after they put her in the stove. I wish Josh could talk for a lot of reasons this morning, but he'd have a lot to say on this topic. I was surprised at first when I learned of the fake bits that went on in radio back when I first started. I mean, you guys know that my first gig, I was a character.
Oh, yep.
So I know a little bit about the theater of the mind, right? I mean, it was me, but I was also playing a character. So, I mean, I knew that some of the personalities were exaggerated before I got into radio. And then when I was handed this character role, that made it very clear that, some personalities aren't quite what they seem to be. I was well aware of that. I knew that Wolfman Jack really didn't talk like that. You know what I mean? I was well aware of the fact that Wolfbang, what the hell was his name? I just said it.
Wolfman?
What?
Jack?
Man, sorry, I lost it. Wolfman Jack. I knew he didn't. But I was surprised how many supposed call-in things were fake.
Just national actors that call around to different radio stations.
Well, not all. Yeah, sure. And actors.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of cases, what I saw in the early days, it was just friends of the radio personalities who would. Sorry to break this news to you if you're one of these folks who believes, everything you hear from the call-in segments, but a lot of it is fake.
Yeah.
Josh wants it on the record that you were super good at it too, Nick.
Super good at my character. He always says that, and I appreciate it every time. But I just have such horrible memories of those. Oh God, I hated it. I hated every single. I mean,
and he loves you.
I love him too, and I appreciate that. Josh, he can't talk. He's sitting over there, and Wapple,
but only you.
Wapple is. You're more. He only loves me.
Yes,
I knew that. Wapple, you're more like a Muppet today than ever before because Josh has his hand up your ass.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's talking through you.
Mm-hmm.
If something else I'll check with Josh on. I think only once in the history of this show did we do a fake bit. And that was the dude. We got to get going here. I shouldn't have gotten into this topic because I can't stop. We thought it was very funny before the state fair years ago. We just thought this sounded funny, and it did come off, I thought, decent. We had a guy come on the show. I don't know whose ideas this was, but he said people shouldn't go to the state fair because he claimed to be some kind of health expert. That's the guy. We created this bit. It was all fake. he said people shouldn't go to the state fair because everyone's eating and everyone's farting, and all you're doing is basically walking around eating each other's poop particles. So we thought that sounded funny. We put the guy on the air. It did come off, I thought, decent enough, but that's the only time I think we ever did, we tried to pull one over on. But back in the day when I could not believe how much of it was BS.
Yeah. Josh says it was called brown lung.
Right. He said the dude we had on the air, we created this gimmick. You'll get a case of brown lung.
Come on.
Josh, maybe you can write it down real quick and pass it to your Muppet, who talks for you this morning by the name of Wapple. Can you think of, I thought that was the one time we try to, be as honest as possible. And, all that fakeness that I witnessed early in my career, it kind of took some of the fun out of the gig.
Josh speaking.
It really did. Yes, this is Josh speaking?
Yep, Josh speaking. He said, yeah, that was the only time.
Yeah. It kind of surprised me.
Outside of your fake marriage, Josh said.
Right, my current
yes
fake marriage. I never got married. I thought folks were onto that bit.
I get that question all the time.
But yeah, when I saw all the fakeness going on, I thought, wow, it kind of took some of the shine off of
a little bit of the magic's gone.
There you go. That's me. That's the liquor talking.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Next on News Be Funny, it's early morning, and anchor Jimmy Marlowe has got off to a false start.
Good morning, I'm Deja Jones.
And I am Deja Jones. Yes, big game going down tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in.
You're Deja Jones.
Oh, my bad. I definitely just Ron Burgundy'd it just now. Wow.
Pete's got 4 words for you tonight.
Well, at least it's not a 4-letter word. So what are the 4 words?
Widespread soaking rain.
Widespread is one word. Gosh, widespread. That's 3. See?
Friggin' newscasters and their bloopers. You never hear radio folks screw up like that. You know what I'm saying? Of course you guys know what I'm saying. Hey, here's the deal. Coming up in a half hour. Dick Bremer going to join us. And Janel Klein. So I'll just dump this your way. And we'll get moving on to the next thing. The Twins and the New York Yankees fire up a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium tonight. We'll talk to Dick about that. 6 o'clock game time on Bally Sports North, or however you watch a ball game these days. Hey, I got news for you. My friggin' wife. Oh, great. Now I'm aggravated. Friggin' wife fired something up at the house last night to where maybe I'll finally get to watch a Twins game.
Oh, nice.
I'm so happy for you.
I know they've been a big source of stress in your life.
I've been angry about it. I have been. So I hope to be able to watch tonight's ball game. Of course, Justin Jefferson signed that massive deal with the Vikings. Everybody's falling down and playing with themselves over that friggin' news. We'll cover that in a half hour. And I don't know. Deion Sanders has a new rap song, if that we can talk about that. Like I said, Dick Bremer and Janel Klein at 7:30. We got more coming up for you next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
Are you into weird, spooky, and strange history? Horrifying History tells you about the side of history that people don't normally talk about. We tell the tales of haunted places, infamous true crimes, unsolved mysteries, the paranormal, and then we look to history to see where the truth actually lies. Want to get spooky with us?
Horrifying History, part of the Believe Network. Just search BLEAV on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hate them. All of them, bro.
I'll be damned. Yeah, we're back here on the Half-Assed Morning Show at 7:13. Normally at this time, we would be enjoying Josh's daily news report. But if you hadn't heard, the poor bastard is terribly sick, and he's lost his voice completely. Can't make a damn sound. He is here. He's in the other room with Wapple. Wapple is doing his best to speak for Josh this morning. It's had mixed results so far, but that's the situation. Josh is here, not feeling so good, and the sumbitch can't speak, so we'll have to wait for his voice to return before we can enjoy his news reports again. We can get back to a subject that we were messing around with earlier. At work ass clowns. For God's sake, we had a story earlier in the stupid news about a dude who would not stop dry humping his coworkers. So much so that one of the coworkers has upped and sued the company. She can't take it anymore. She says the company didn't do enough to stop the guy. But, I mean, it's a terrible thing. Disgusting. This guy's like a sick animal. We were having some laughs at just the ridiculousness of it all. You can't cross the room without some little peckerhead dry humping at you. I mean, what the hell's the matter with you?
Like some type of dog just can't resist.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, he's behind you. Pump. That's him. So I fired it at our listening audience, the brother and sisterhood. Text in about your at-work ass clowns. Tell us what you can. Give us a brief idea of what you're dealing with. Daily annoyances. They never fail to piss you off. The at-work ass clown. Can anyone think of anybody, whether it be past or present?
I just always think of just how self-important and full of themselves so many people can be in radio, where they just think that they are...
I hate that.
...the coolest person they've ever seen.
I hate those folks who think they're cool. No, you're right. There's a lot of that going around in radio. All right. Here's some examples from our damned wonderful listeners. At work ass clowns. These were texted in. The number is 651-989-9393 if you have any ideas. Listener says, every morning, dude says to me, and he also adds this information, we're men, we're grown men. And every morning the dude says to me, howdily doodly.
That is so cute. Is that Ned Flanders?
That is Flanders from The Simpsons.
Is that where it comes from? I knew it sounded familiar. I don't think, and we're talking every morning. I don't think I could take that.
Yeah, not every morning. You'd have to switch it up.
Every morning. Howdily doodly. The listener goes on to say, I'm going to lose it on him eventually.
Yeah, that'd be cute for maybe a week or so.
Here's a listener. This is Red Balls to the Walls Jesus. He has a coworker that he's calling Donnie. Donnie belches and farts as loud as he can, like we should be impressed by his actions.
Ew. Nasty.
Oh, man. Now, a loud burper, in my opinion, can be a lot of fun. Anyone with me?
Nah.
A big, loud, fat-ass burp? That's funny to me.
Oh, that turns my stomach.
But what's that?
It turns my stomach.
So who's with me? Wapple?
I am.
Okay,
one of my buddies.
With me.
Oh, boy, could he get it going.
Oh, God. But if it's the other end, that's not right. Yep. We're not 11 years old anymore. Come on. You guys know me. I'm not a massive fart humor guy. I never have been. I've told you before. I know I've been to people's homes where I've learned that a loud fart is the top form of communication and comedy amongst the residents of the home. Dad and his kids and his wife sitting around, and someone like a kid will crack a loud one, and all five of them will go.
It sounds like a nightmare.
No, that was Kenny. That's bad. I've sat around going, this is really what you people do?
Ew.
Dude, the family. Oh, that's just weird.
But a loud burper, my buddy House can rattle the windows. And I find it fun. One time, we walked out of the bar, and he just unleashed a burp that literally made a woman in the parking lot jump.
Is he one of those that can hold the note as if he's, like almost like an opera singer, like it just kind of keeps going, or is it just a loud instant pop?
It's more of a loud instant pop.
Okay.
Oh,
but
one of my buddies.
This lady in the parking lot who was a good 30 feet away from us went, ah! It startled her.
My buddy can keep it going long, and then he can also change the pitch up and down.
Skills, man. Those are skills.
Yeah, it's almost like a whistler, but burping.
But the farters, man, no. It wasn't that long ago. Me and a buddy were shooting pool in my basement. And, it's not a what's the word? Not a lot of airflow. Thank you. Not a well-ventilated part of the house. 2 grown men shooting pool one night, and dude just unloads this massive fart. And I said, what's wrong with you?
Don't do that.
And you were probably drinking beer, so it made it worse.
Oh, well, why would beer make it worse?
I feel like people start drinking beer and eating bad food, then the farts just get horrible.
I don't know. You're probably right. But it was just, I said, dude, that's friggin' disgusting. Go into another room if you... And he was shocked. He was absolutely shocked that I didn't want to celebrate this fart with him. And I think I said what I just said out loud a minute ago. I said to the guy, we're not 11 years old anymore. It's not funny. It's friggin' gross. It's just me and you in this enclosed...
Ew, what's wrong with him?
And he could not believe that. Okay, more at-work ass clowns. This one goes on for a while about an annoying at-work ass clown. This listener was annoyed by a certain female coworker. He says he had to quit his job because it was so bad. Here's a quick rundown. She knew everything, interrupted everybody all the time, smelled strongly of palms. Do you know what that means? Palms?
No, I don't. No, I don't know what they smell like.
Soap?
I don't know. I was hoping you guys could tell me. Palms. All she would talk about 24/7 was K-pop. Also, K-pop, that's a music style?
Genre, yeah, Korean music.
K-pop?
Wouldn't be able to hold much of a conversation with her about that.
Listener says, my skin is crawling just thinking about this and texting it to you. Peace out, bitches, is what they say. Smelled strongly of palms. Maybe someone can text in and tell us what that means. Like a lotion?
Or is it like, I don't know. Or like palms from a palm tree?
You know what? What's his name over there again? Wapple? I'm just going to move on.
That's probably better.
Maybe someone can text it. How about this? Sitting at your desk, there's one coworker who will stand over you even when you're on a meeting call and just kind of stand over your desk.
I hate when people stand over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. I hate when I'm typing and people are behind me. I feel like I can't type then.
Dude, that happens to me every time. Every time I ask our engineer, one of our engineers in the building, Holden, to help me with something on the computer, I all of a sudden forget where the enter key is.
You freeze up?
Yeah, I'm just like, I promise I'm not this dumb.
Yeah, I get that. You're busy. You're trying to focus on your computer or whatever you got going on at your desk, and there's this individual who's just standing over you, waiting for their turn to talk, I guess, is what's happening. It says here, this same guy once cornered someone in the urinal and wouldn't let them do their business. He just standing. At work ass clowns, we're talking here. Listeners have texted in the co-workers that piss them off on a daily basis. Dude coughs up a lung, hawks up a loogie, spits, but misses the trash can.
Oh.
No. That's no.
Then he also takes a lot of naps on the job and then complains about not making enough money. I love that one. Also refuses to wear a belt, so his ass crack crawls out the back of his pants every day. I love those folks who don't do squat and complain about, I'm not getting paid that much over here. Well, you don't do much. That might be the friggin'.
Some people are suggesting that smelling like palms could mean Pall Mall cigarettes.
Oh, that would be nasty.
All right.
Then.
Okay, that could be cigarettes. Listener texted in, I work for a road construction company, and I'm one of 14 truckers working for the company. So you're driving here, you're driving there. Sure, you have to communicate once in a while with the badass CB setup.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We all should have CBs. I love that. Being the son of a truck driver, I used to play around with the CB when the old man would give me a chance. I loved that vibe. I did.
Didn't you say you had a handle?
I did.
Yeah, what was it again?
Lupin Lou.
Lupin Lou?
Well, but Lupin Lou was my nickname also as a kid.
It's adorable.
So we didn't come up with anything real fresh for the handle, but I was Lupin Lou, no doubt about it. But here's the deal. 14 truckers driving around town. There are two guys who, this is the way the listener says it, who talk non-effing stop all day long on the CB about the dumbest things ever. So they just can't get enough of the back and forth on the CB. And I can totally see how that would drive you nuts.
Yeah, I get it.
Because you have to leave them on in order to communicate. Dude says the rest of us have gotten in trouble for turning our radios off because we can't stand listening to these two guys jaw jack about nonsense. So they've gotten in trouble and they've said, well, we just can't listen. But they won't stop. That reminds me of my buddy who had a coworker who wouldn't stop talking. I love this story. I still love this story to this day. 3 guys in a work truck going summers, long trip to the job site, bench seats in a pickup, and the guy in the middle would not shut up. The whole 4-hour car ride. He's just He's just one of these guys who's got to get everything off his chest. My buddy sitting on the outside, he wasn't driving, he's sitting on the passenger side door. He said, if you're going to talk like this nonstop all the way to the job site, I'm going to kill you. He just straight up said, you got to shut up or I'm going to lose my mind. The dude wouldn't stop. At one point or another, they pulled over at a gas station. My buddy got a bag of donuts. He got a Long John, and when they got on the road again and the dude started talking, he grabbed him by the neck and forced a Long John down his mouth.
He was prepared. That makes sense.
And the guy's like choking. He's gasping for air. He's forcing a Long John down the guy's throat. Oh, my God. Maybe a donut will shut you up. Can you imagine he was pushed to the point of no return. He had to almost kill a guy with a Long John. All right, where are we? More at work Ask Clowns. We love it. I love this stuff. I love the text. Yeah, we keep them coming. Maybe we can talk about it again a little bit later. 2 more. Okay. Yeah, 2 more. Here is Welding Sheezes on the job. She had a boss. Sounds kind of creepy. She said the guy was older than her dad at the time and married and kids that were older than her. He would lip sync 80s love songs to her. Every rose has its thorn. He would lip sync 80s love songs to her. At one point, she said to the boss, the guy, you know, it's hot in here. And he said, yeah, I know you are.
Gross.
That's icky.
Yep, I've had a boss like that. It's weird.
She closed out her text by saying, ew.
Yeah, it puts you in an uncomfortable situation.
You had an much older boss who would make little cute comments at you like that?
Yeah, and he would constantly beg for my Snapchat. It was so weird.
Oh, weird.
But it was, at the time, I was a server. And so he was in charge of when you're cut for the day, when you can go home, and if you have the good tables in your section. And so it was always I can't be too mean because I want him to be nice to me still. I want to go home early.
It sucks. You got to try to walk that long.
Yeah.
It's awful.
You're just weird.
I don't like the sound of that. Couple of more, like I said, just to close things out. The movie quote guy.
I love people that do that.
Come on, but there's a friggin' limit on that.
Yeah, I haven't reached it yet.
Oh, you're serious? I know my limits on that. So, again, at work Ask Clowns, we asked our listeners, tell us a little bit about the coworker that never fails to piss you off or annoy you. One listener just texted in, the movie quote guy. I'm with this guy 100%. I love a good movie quote. Who doesn't? But when it's your only effing form of communication... Yeah. I know a couple guys like this.
Me too.
2 hours will go by, and they haven't done anything but dump movie quotes on each other or on the rest of the crowd. Come on.
The worst ones for me that are still stuck on a movie from so long ago, like they'll constantly bring out like the "oh behave" like Austin Powers. You're like,
oh Jesus! Dude. I just got the willies when you did that.
That's a bad one. I don't like
the
that
movie
one.
quote guy. He or she need to know when enough is enough. The boss's kid. Another one just texted in. The boss's kid. No, nothing behind it, but I think we can all understand. The boss's kid, 9 times out of 10. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes the boss's kid, sure, they think the rules don't apply to them.
Exactly.
And that would piss me. Day after day, that would be tough.
And they rub it in their face and remind you of who their dad is.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're usually the worst person, like, on the crew or at the workplace. Like, they just don't do their job good either.
I know there are times when I get to talking. You know, back to my buddy with the donut story on the road trip. I know there's times where I can get to talking where, maybe it seems like, okay, you've had it. Do I know I'm in trouble if you guys bring in a bag of Long Johns?
Yes. Yeah.
Then I'll know, oh, Jesus, the clock is ticking.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there. Oh, my goodness gracious. There it goes!
On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Bam at third. He's going to test him. Here's the throw. Yelich on a hop. The tag. He is out. A double play to end the inning. Tommy Pham is upset. Yelich cuts him down. Man, not sure what the commotion is. Tommy Pham is really hot.
1-run ball game. Close play at the plate. Actually, it wasn't even close. There's a shallow fly ball to left field. You would expect the left fielder to throw the base runner out on that play, but third base coach sends you got to go. I'm nailed out at home by a mile. I'm going to the dugout, and I hear the tough guy with all the hoorah. I'll never start anything, but I'll be prepared to finish it. There's a reason why I do all kinds of fighting in the off season, because I'm prepared to somebody up. So you can take it as what it is.
I love that. Tommy Pham of the Chicago White Sox. Just so you know, he's prepared to F somebody up. He had a little trouble in Milwaukee the other night. Okay, I think I made us late. Are we late, Wapple, or are we on time?
Yeah, we're a little late.
It's my fault, and I feel terrible. I'm embarrassed because we have company. Hello, Randy Shaver.
Hello.
The exhausted, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Randy Shaver, he's had a big couple of days. Hello, Janel Klein.
Good morning.
And welcome back, Dick Bremer.
Good morning.
Dick, I'm sorry we're late.
No problem.
It's my damn fault. We started running late. How you been, Dick?
Doing fine. I've enjoyed the weather. As Twins fans know, the team was in Houston over the weekend. I was not. I was in Pierce, Minnesota, watching a town team game, and just had a delightful time watching some baseball Sunday afternoon. And I found out something, that the bounty for foul balls, retrieving foul balls, has gone up from 10 cents when I was a kid now to 25 cents. And I had to elbow some little kids out of the way, but I left there $1.50 richer than I was when I got there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great, going out to see some town ball. It's been a while. Randy Shaver, it's been a while since we went down to Brownton.
It has been. It's been a while.
To watch some town ball.
I'm actually going out for a big town ball event on June 22nd.
Okay, where are you going this time?
It is an event that Ryan Grams puts on. Last year they raised a ton of money. It's like a one-day town ball event where there's I think it's 3 teams or 6 teams, one or the other, that they play round robin during the course of the day, and they raise money for our charities. So.
Ashley, aren't you?
I think it's out in. I want to say it's out in Maple Lake this year.
Oh, don't say Maple Lake.
Oh, no.
No.
Randy.
I think it is. I'll have to double check.
I had so much trouble there in 1991. I don't know why you got to bring up
that. You have trouble everywhere.
No, I don't. I was attacked by the entire town of Maple Lake at a street party there many years ago. Ashley, weren't you possibly dialed into one of these town ball parties, or is that the liquor talking?
Yeah, that was last summer.
Last summer?
Yeah, I threw out a first pitch with Randy, actually, in Brownton.
That was a year ago?
Yeah.
Holy Jesus. I might not be all right. I thought that was coming up. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
That was.
You threw out a first pitch?
She did a great
Did
job.
Randy skip it?
No, he did great.
Randy did not skip it. Here it is. It's June 22nd It is in Maple Lake at the Lakers Stadium. It's Loretto and Avon, Howard Lake and Kimball, and Maple Lake and Waconia. So it's 3 games, noon, 2:30, and 5 o'clock. Town ball.
So Dick Bremer will likely know the answer to this question. Isn't Corey Koski still an active town baller?
You know, he was up at least until a couple of years ago, and it was really a cool story because he was playing ball with his kids, and he was, you know, Corey lives in northwest suburb, and he was playing a town ball long after his major league career was over with. I thought that was awesome.
That's a cool story. Yeah, I've heard stories about Koski playing town ball for years. I didn't know if he was still up to it. Now, when Dick Bremer goes to a town ball game, you don't have to pay admission or buy a beer at that joint, I bet, right? You just roll out the...
I think the admission was $5, the beer was $4, and I won't tell you how much money I spent there.
That's great. Well, that's I wish I had more time for stuff like that, because when we went down to Brownton all those years ago, we had a great time.
That was fun.
They were great people. So Randy Shaver, coming off his back-to-back parties, Sunday night was his big fundraiser gala at Medina Ballroom. Yesterday was the big golf tournament at Rush Creek.
Yep.
How you feeling, Randy? You sound all right.
You know, I'm okay. I'm exhausted, but doing fine. And we had a great afternoon. The weather cooperated, like from about 10 a.m. on. It was much better than what it was yesterday morning when we talked, but. Yeah, it turned out to be a great day. Had a lot of fun. A lot of folks out there that I have so much respect for and admiration for. Tony Oliva, Joe Mauer, Ron Gardenhire was out there playing with his son Toby. And it was just DePaula was out there. He was great. I mean, so many good guys. I met a couple of St. Paul Saint guys came out and played yesterday. Hobie Miller and Scott Blewett. Great guys. I mean, just fabulous guys. So, yeah, all in all, fantastic. I think we're going to raise about $440,000, somewhere in that area, for the 2-day event. And, of course, all that money goes to cancer research and patient aid projects in Minnesota. So
wonderful.
Excited about that.
Wonderful. And I saw some footage last night on your channel of you hanging out with Juan Berenguer and Tony Oliva.
Yep.
And I'm sure Dick Bremer can comment on this as well. It never gets old being able to hang out with a guy like Tony Oliva or Juan Berenguer.
Well, for Tony, I say this with all due respect to the Killebrews and Carews and Blylevens and Mornos and Mowers and all that. The Twins have never had, I'm not sure the game of baseball has ever had a better ambassador than Tony Oliva. He's just a delight to be around. Always positive, always happy, and, you know, one of the worst things, frankly, about my new role with the Twins is I don't get a chance to spend as much time with Tony, but what a treasure we've had here for all these years.
So lucky to have that guy around.
You guys look like you were having a good time yesterday. Who was the big hitter? I don't know golf talk. What should I say?
The big hitter.
Who was
a couple of those St. Paul Saint guys could hit the ball pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of the longest drives I came across, there was one that was like 341. I was like, what the hell?
Whoa, that's insane.
Somebody got a piece of that one.
Yeah, I actually think Hobie Miller had the longest drive on one of the holes.
I totally forgot about this. Ashley and Wapple and Dana, you guys all went.
Yeah, they played.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What did you think, you guys?
Oh,
it was a lot of fun. The group that I was paired up with was incredible. So shout out to them. They were a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, it was great. There's food on almost every single hole, drinks on almost every single hole. It's a great time.
Yeah.
I'd completely forgotten about that.
I shot pretty good too, so that was nice.
Yeah,
Heck
actually, you played 9 holes, and you said they used 3 of your drives.
Yeah,
That's
3
impressive.
of my drives.
Fantastic.
F me. That's
I
crazy.
even made a friend.
You did?
You made a friend, Wapple?
He lives out in Lake Elmo. He lives like 7 minutes from me. I'm like, dude, let's go golfing again sometime.
Is this an imaginary friend?
No.
I met him too. He's a very solid dude.
A guy from Lake Elmo?
Yeah.
It sounds made up to me, Dick Bremer. But
or maybe it's just Elmo.
Giggly little red-haired character. Yep.
That would fit.
There's Elmo and Kermit side by side.
Janelle, were you out there chug-a-lugging beers or
I
what?
wasn't. I missed it. But
Janelle missed it.
I was at the event on Sunday, and it was awesome, and just always so impressed with what you guys do, Randy.
Thanks.
We caught Wapple and we caught Randy on the second hole, I think, right? Wapple, Randy drove by and we chatted quickly, and I think that was strategic. He wanted to find out where we were, say hi, and then you could avoid us the rest of the day.
He's like, all right, they started there, so no, I could be over here.
It's been an hour. They're probably on 18 by now, so I'll go the other way.
Smart.
The hardest part of that is to try to connect with everybody that's there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And so my job in the afternoon is to take off and start from 18 and go backwards.
Right.
And just try to hit every group in the afternoon just to say hi.
It's like a wedding reception and everybody's rich.
Yeah.
Right.
And that course is big, too. Big property, so
Holy
you got to
cow,
drive
yeah.
a ways, too.
Well, Dick Bremer, the Twins and New York Yankees. I feel like, since we had a week to ourselves, we haven't talked in a while. I feel like the last time we talked, we were talking about a Yankee series. I think I'm accurate with that. The Twins are at Yankee Stadium, fire up a 3-game series tonight, 6 o'clock. And the Game 1 pitching matchup is Bailey Ober for the Twins. And Luis, is it just simply Gil?
Heel. G is H, so Luis Heel.
Luis Heel, who is 7-1 with a 1.99 ERA?
Yep.
Good God.
He's on his
Twins will have their work cut out for them, but they get Royce Lewis back into the lineup tonight.
Yeah.
And given what he's shown in his very young major league career, not to put pressure on the young man at all, but I fully expect him to hit a home run in his first at batting.
Yes.
So what do they do at second base then, Dick, with Julian being sent down to AAA?
I think it'll be Willie Castro over there. Kyle Farmer will get some time over there. I think that, they're going to have some problems here moving forward because they expect Julian to come back. They hope Matt Wallner will, get things righted to AAA. They'd like to be able to bring him back. And, I'm hopeful that they give Kyle Farmer a chance to get some regular play because I think they need to make a decision on him. I absolutely love the guy, but he and, Margot have really, really struggled this year. And Vasquez has struggled, too, offensively. And, we'll have to wait and see how this all sorts out and whether anybody else gets hurt or not. But they got some veterans on the team that are really struggling at the plate. And here's, Royce Lewis, 257 major league at-bats, and I think everyone looks at him as being the best hitter in the Twins lineup.
Isn't that something?
It's funny, too, because they've kind of flown under the radar here over the last month with the Timberwolves, taking the spotlight.
Or if you have Xfinity.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding. That's true, too. So now the focus will be squarely back on them as we move through the summer. And
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll start to take off here. The division has turned out, at least through the first 40, 50 games, has turned out to be a little bit more difficult than we thought it was going to be. So that makes
well,
it
and I think they should be commended for what they've done. What are they, 7 games above 500? And 6 games out of first. But, if, in fact, Royce Lewis is that important to that team, they've gotten 3 innings out of him so far, and they've managed I think we talked about this very early in the season. The goal is to try to, play 500 baseball till you get him back, and here they are 7 games up. So I think they've probably overachieved given what they've had to deal with in the first third or so of the season.
I agree completely.
Yeah,
I'm impressed so far with this ball club, especially after we mentioned the injuries and veterans are struggling. I'm impressed. And they've won 7 of their last 10. They're winning series. They've overachieved. I totally agree. And it's hilarious that we're all expecting Royce Lewis just to start knocking baseballs into the upper tank, as soon as he comes back. But that's what he's shown us so far, that he's that damn good. Yeah. And we talk about the great personalities of old-time players like Tony Oliva. Boy, this kid also has a great personality, happy guy. Mm-hmm. How could you not root for him? Does anyone want to look it up? And when is the last time the Twins won a series in Yankee Stadium, for God's sake?
Does the internet go back?
It may have been last year.
What?
Yeah,
Last year?
Yeah, they won a series against the Yankees last year, but I don't remember whether it was a home series or a road series.
Oh, Jesus. I'm losing my mind. I didn't remember that Ashley, a year ago, I don't know.
That happens.
I don't
You're getting
know
older.
Oh, God. I am. She's not lying. They want that.
The Yankees weren't all that good last year, and they're pretty good this year.
Okay, yes, they have the best record in the American League.
And that's without Garrett Cole right now,
Yeah,
too.
it's disgusting to say that out loud, but they have the best record in the American League. Yes, they did beat the Yankees in a series last year, but I don't think it was at Yankee Stadium. I don't know. Dana's looking at his computer. Maybe we don't need to know if it's as miserable as I assume it to be.
The all-time record isn't great. I'll tell you
No,
that
we
much.
all know that it's miserable. It's miserable.
Well, certainly adding Soto to that lineup in New York has made a big difference for them. And Judge is healthy, and he's hitting the ball hard. And their starting pitching, they've filled some gaps with Cole not out there. And Heel is one of those guys. He's having an all-star year. I mean, and then Holmes has been maybe the best closer so far in the American League. So they've really kind of pieced together a pretty good ball team.
It's just aggravating is what it is, Randy.
Can be, yeah.
All right, before we let Dick Bremer go, we got to touch on this. Today is the anniversary of a historic moment in baseball. Today is the 50th anniversary of 10-cent beer night at Cleveland's old Municipal Stadium. June 4th, 1974, 50 years ago today was the notorious 10-cent beer night. You know all the stories, don't you, Dick?
Oh, yeah.
My God, it is so much fun to read about this stuff where a drunken riot was triggered that night in a game between the Texas Rangers and the Cleveland Indians. An absolute riot cut loose because of 10-cent beer night. And the stories go on and on and on.
And it was just a year or two after that, they had the Disco Demolition Night in Chicago.
Right.
And that turned out to be a fiasco as well.
People my age missed all the fun.
Gosh.
Oh, man.
Couldn't get enough video and reading about that. That was...
Disco Demolition Night and 10-cent beer night, absolutely notorious moments in baseball history. I mean, if you don't know, if you're too young, it starts with a few people running across the outfield. Next thing you know, a few people turns into a dozen. Next thing you know, some of them are naked. They're throwing hot dogs at the Rangers players. They're throwing garbage at the Rangers players. At one point, a fan jumps onto the outfield and steals the hat off of a Rangers player's head as he's standing out there trying to play baseball. And that's when, this is my favorite part of the story, Billy Martin, nut job that he's managing the Rangers at the time, he said to his team in the dugout, grab a baseball bat and follow me.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's going to take them into battle like an old general against the fans in Cleveland.
That's badass.
It becomes a full-on riot, and the game was called a forfeit. So many people charged onto the field finally where they said, you know what, screw it. It's a friggin' forfeit.
So I'm looking at some stats. Not only were beers 10 cents a piece, you're able to get 6 at a time, too. So you'd be walking out of there.
Oh, my gosh.
Just, barehanded 6 beers as you walk back to your seat.
There were stories of, back in those days, they didn't have the fancy schmancy concession stands. A local beer distributor would just back a truck up to the gate, right? Oh. And fire up the taps. The crowd got so rowdy and so angered at how long the line was for a 10-cent beer that they beat up the beer truck guy and they just started serving it for free.
It's not that guy's fault.
You can't beat up the beer truck guy. This guy provides all the happiness. I mean, Morgana the kissing bandit ran out onto the field and kissed the umpire. It was madness. A father and son mooned the crowd.
That's a cute bonding moment.
That's a good moment.
Anyone have any bonding stories like that with one of their...
Nope. I'm okay with that.
Now, it sounds like most folks escaped real injury. An umpire, though, did have his head split open by a chair that was thrown out onto the ball field. So this was a historic night. The place was full on up for grabs. The Indians held another beer night a month later.
They didn't learn anything.
I guess not. Those were the days.
One person was recalled being at that game, as a college student at the time, and he said, I went with $2 in my pocket. You do the math.
Right.
What kind of night he had.
Good Lord. Wouldn't that be something? I mean, these days.
You know, one thing I've always wondered about that, though, I mean, what brand of beer was it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it was, Fox Deluxe or some of the junk I used to drink in college.
Fox Deluxe.
That probably wasn't much of a bargain at all,
Dude, that's great. I mean, yeah, it didn't taste like it was worth a dime, did it, Dick Bremer?
Right. No, it was terrible.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that one.
Fox Deluxe?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell.
Well, so there was something called Huber's back in college. And there was a lot of off-brand. Buckhorn.
Okay, that I know of, yes. Buckhorn. Yeah, that's great.
The can was worth more than the content.
Right. Yeah, I think back to, me and my buddies had a beer can collection when we were kids, so my folks did a lot of beer drinking, so, we would stack them up in my dad's shed, and I remember, old brands like Red, White, and Blue and Hohenstein. I'm trying to think what else they drank back in the early 70s, my God. It's fun rattling through some of those old. When I was a college kid, the real garbage, at least that's what we thought of it at the time, was a Black Label. It was very, very cheap.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Boy, I'm trying to think. Of course, Blatz, was very cheap back in those days. Fox Deluxe, huh? But you got her done. You had to, what could you do, Dick? You had to have a couple of cold ones, and you didn't want to spend
and they sold them, 24 bottles to a case, so you just felt obligated,
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, Dick, enjoy the Yankee series. We all hope we can enjoy the Yankee series and see some great things. And, boy, not too long from now they play the Oakland Athletics. I'm excited for that. I want to, I don't recall if they first play them at home or away, but I'm excited to see that series from, what will be the final Twins series in Oakland. You know what I mean? That's something we have on the horizon at least. So, but we'll get through the Yankees series first and see what happens. Thanks, Dick Bremer.
We'll do it again next Tuesday.
We will. It's always a pleasure. Every Tuesday, you can hear Dick here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. All right, Randy Shaver, you're a hell of a guy for cutting through all the exhaustion and joining us this morning after your big couple of days.
I'm doing just fine. I'm going back to bed when I'm done here.
Randy, how much did you guys raise?
I think we're about $440, somewhere in there. It could be higher once they calculate everything. We still have money coming in from other places and things, but I think we're going to be in that ballpark. And if Tackle Cancer has another unbelievable year, we've got a pickleball event coming up in the first weekend in August at Pints and Paddles up here in Maple Grove, and that sounds like it's going really well right now, and they expect to raise quite a bit of money in that. So we're off to a pretty good start this year, which is great.
That's great.
Good deal. Oh, I wish Dick Bremer was still on the line. Well, if he's listening, Purple Belt Jesus texted in to say right now an empty can of Fox Deluxe beer goes for $25 now.
Whoa. Wow. That's insane.
Where did they brew this? Like, why do we...
I don't know.
Is that a Wisconsin?
Someone look it up. I don't know
Fox Deluxe, they ceased operations a long time ago, but you can still buy like the old empty beer can if you want to collect it online.
So, yeah, it's a collector's item now.
Where did they brew it? Does it say?
Cold Spring Brewery.
Oh, is that
Cold
Minnesota?
Spring. Oh.
It's a Minnesota beer. Was a Minnesota beer. Huh. What garbage did you take down, Janel Klein, when you were at beer parties?
Oh,
gosh.
Here we go.
Faribault.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, there was beer, right?
Right.
It's got to be home brew.
Busch Light.
Busch Light.
Yeah.
And then, we like to go for the trash liquor. So Apple Pucker.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Southern Comfort with little Mountain Dew mix. Yep.
Wow.
What do they call that? There's a name for that.
SoCo.
Well, no, when you mix it with Mountain Dew, I thought there was a...
it'd be vodka and Mountain Dew. They call them Vod Dews.
Well, that's not what I'm thinking. Anyway, keep going, Janelle.
Wild turkey.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Did you ever dabble in the UV blue?
Oh,
No, I don't
dude.
think so.
Oh, yeah, that stuff got lethal.
What
That
was
makes my
that
stomach hurt.
cinnamon one that was so
Fireball?
Yeah.
No, it was the 4 high fire.
Rum shada.
No.
Hot 100?
Well, there was Hot 100, but there's another. I won't think of it. Too old.
I don't know.
Then did you guys ever do, this was more college, but where you took a garbage can and just
Yeah.
poured everything
Oh,
in
yeah.
the garbage
A
can?
wop.
Yes.
Wild buffalo.
That stuff is dangerous.
Randy called it the Wild Buffalo. We called it a Wapatui, I think.
Yep.
We also did the big picture of strip and go nakeds, which was vodka and beer mixed together.
That should be illegal. That's not right.
It tastes better than you think it would.
Nah, just use the beer as a chaser.
That rings a bell. Yeah, strip and go naked. Oh, man. Well, I didn't expect that much of a rundown from Janelle, but man.
Yeah, exactly.
You gals
That
were
was a
fine
lot.
connoisseur.
Let me make this clear.
You were a lush.
This is not a present day
No.
rundown. This is,
We're talking about the young days,
Yes.
drinking underage, but sometimes you got to drink garbage because it's all you can afford or get your hands on.
Yeah, whatever's in the liquor cabinet.
I remember going to a house party. We were liquor thieves, my pals and I. I'm not proud of it, but we were young and broke, and we went to your beer party, and we didn't like you so much, we'd steal every bottle of hooch and every can of beer you had, and it became ours at that moment. But I remember going to a house party once, me and the Big Al, sneak thieves that we were. Some dude had a bottle of Wild Turkey about the size of your ass. I'd never seen a bottle of booze this big.
Yeah.
So that drew us, we'll get a lot of attention at the next party with the. And it was Wild Turkey, which would knock you on your ass in about 5 minutes if you weren't careful, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we stole it. We went the next night. There's a brand new beer party. We go to that beer party, and Al and I are showing off this big bottle of Wild Turkey. Hey, check this out. Of course, you're 18 years old. Ooh, cool, right?
Yeah.
We just thought this thing's like 2 stories tall, Wild Turkey. We're the hardest score. And then next thing you know, the dude whose house we stole the bottle from walks into the house party.
No. Abort.
And we had to hide it.
No coincidence.
That
There's
sucks.
2 of these giant
We
bottles.
couldn't flaunt it anymore. We had to hide it. I said, oh, Jesus, that's the dude we stole it from.
That's great.
Quick, start pouring it in a bunch of water bottles.
I think the best adventures come from how you get it. Like, there was no stealing on our end, but we have a lot of funny stories about talking people into buying for us.
Oh, yeah.
All
Right? Like, whose older brother's cousin's roommate could we get?
Yeah, that was insane.
And I bet you and your gal friends could be pretty convincing.
Yes.
Adorable young ladies that I'm sure you were. Probably didn't take too much for the guys to say, yeah, I'll go get you some.
One time we were up north at a cabin. We had to have been like 17, 18. And we're like, hey, let's go play catch. And let's do it outside the liquor store. So we're throwing a football around outside the liquor store, kind of waiting until we see somebody who looks like the type that they might go buy somebody a case of beer.
I've never done that. I wouldn't have enough balls to just stand outside the liquor store.
You know, while you're in there,
yeah.
while you're in there, why don't you get us a... All right, so everyone's falling down and touching themselves, Randy, over this new contract for Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings, $140 million for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, and it makes him the richest man on planet Earth.
The richest non-quarterback on the planet Earth.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. $88 million due at signing,
Isn't that
which
something?
is crazy. Yeah. I think $110 million of it is guaranteed. So it's a monster contract. There's just no
Everyone's
doubt
really
about it.
happy.
Yep. And he's happy, and I think that's what they care about the most. They wanted to. They apparently turned down all sorts of trade offers for him, and they drafted McCarthy in April, and they think that they're on a trajectory to get younger at that position and to put together an offensive juggernaut here with the young guys that they have. So we'll see how it all turns out. But I mean, obviously he got what he deserves, and there's no question the talent that the guy has. But it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of pressure that comes with that money too. So
his new contract gets him into the top 5 all-time highest-earning Minnesota athletes. Only 5 athletes have made over $100 million in earnings playing for Minnesota teams. Can you name the 4 others? Justin Jefferson, just for the record, puts him...
My brain's not working today.
That's okay.
Well, Kirk Cousins?
Yes. Yeah, anyone else? Go ahead. Kirk Cousins made He made $185 million as a member of the Minnesota Vikings. That puts Cousins at number 3. Justin Jefferson is number 5.
Joe Mauer.
Number 1 is Joe Mauer. He made $233.3 million as a member of the Minnesota By-Dam Twins.
Justin Morneau?
Morneau.
Not Justin Morneau.
Okay.
KG?
Kevin Garnett made $217.9 million in his 10 years with the team.
I remember being in 6th grade when he signed that first mega deal.
How about Randy Moss?
Not Randy Moss.
No. Okay.
Think current ball clubs.
Cat.
Yes. Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep.
Yes.
He's made $182.3 million so far as a member at a Timberwolves. Those are the 5 richest contracts for Minnesota.
It's amazing, I guess, to think about that KG's in that group, right? Because that was a long
I
time ago.
That was I didn't think they had the money then.
So that kind of tells you what a big deal that was.
Yeah.
Everyone else on the team was making $11 an hour.
They had side gigs in the concession stands at halftime.
There you go. Yes, Justin Jefferson, the highest paid non-quarterback.
Also says a little bit about the sports that, I mean, it is spread around all of the sports, too. It's not just like sometimes we think that, one sport might dominate that salary structure, but not necessarily. I mean, these are some of the best in each of those sports.
So nobody from the Wild.
Well, I don't know the Zach and Suter, their number was as, I'm sure are they the highest paid hockey players ever in Minnesota?
They must be. I have no idea. I don't follow such things, but I would imagine so.
I don't know if there's a list out there that...
Yeah, I don't. Again, not something that I follow, what the guys make in any major sport. I don't care about that kind of thing. So what I found interesting, well, I'm not the NFL fan that I used to be, but I was looking at a list of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in today's NFL. Justin Jefferson, Nick Bosa, A.J. Brown. Like the 10th guy on the list I've never heard of. He plays for the New York Giants. This is the new term now for a defensive end. They call him an edge. Yeah. That's the new term now. You're not a defensive end anymore. You're an edge. Brian Burns of the New York Giants makes $28 million a year. Never heard of the guy.
You made that name up.
Yeah. Anyone, really honestly, have you heard of Brian?
I have not, no.
Never heard of the guy.
Nope.
No.
That's funny.
This is sad. What killed Larry Allen at only 52 years old?
I don't know.
Still don't know yet.
He's in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're younger, maybe you don't know. Larry Allen, all-time great offensive guard for the Dallas Cowboys during their heyday with Emmitt Smith.
I watched that interview with Emmitt Smith. He was just, shattered talking about Larry Allen.
I bet. They've been friends for years and years and years.
I mean, that's awful young, man. 52.
Yeah.
If he had a heart attack or had something like that happen.
I'm guessing he was a big man.
Yeah, but sometimes those guys lose all that weight, though, too, right?
Some do.
When they get done playing, they slim down to what you normally would see somebody at 6'2" or 6'3".
Some do. I'm guessing Larry Allen didn't go in that direction. That's just a guess. I haven't seen the man in decades. But that's very sad. Only 52 years old and he's gone, skis. I don't know. We don't need to play any, but we played the song earlier. I thought it sounded like garbage, so don't worry about it, Wapple. But just so you know, Over the Hill college football coach Deion Sanders has released a new rap song.
Oh, this is pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's awful, Randy.
Okay, like one of those things.
Just coach your team and stuff.
I haven't been in the news for a while. I know. Yeah. I'll release a rap song.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Randy Shaver and Janel Klein might remember that back in 1994, Deion released a song called "Must Be the Money."
Yes.
Okay?
Must be the money. That's right.
His latest rap song is called Must Be the Money Part 2.
No.
It's really creative. Where did he come up with that one? Wow.
Wow.
So I actually think it's someone else's song, but he has a verse in it.
Well, it says here, I don't know the rap game, but it seems like any rap single involves somewhere between 17 and 18 different performers.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And then Dion's like a featured artist and has his own verse.
It says here he raps this song with someone called Yella Beezy. And it's Must Be the Money Part 2. I like reading some of the lyrics. I have some of the lyrics, Randy Shaver, right here in front of me from Must Be the Money Part 2. The lights don't blind me. See, I'm used to the fame. Prime, Ben Prime, I'm before my time. 7-figure hitter way back to 89. I love that because it's just so stupid.
So bad.
That sounds like something an 8th grader would put together.
What can rhyme together?
The fame been good to me. The hood been good to me. God been good to me. Time for you to see. The weight of the people weigh heavy on my shoulders. Where do you think he's going to go next?
Oh, I know.
Where do you think? What word? He's going to. That's right.
Yeah.
The weight of the people weigh heavy on my shoulders. Give the SIP the blueprint, then move the family to Boulder.
No. Oh my gosh! It took him so long to get there.
Randy Shaver, what does it mean to give the SIP the blueprint?
You're asking me?
Yes.
SIP the blueprint?
Then move the family to Boulder.
Yeah, Boulder's cool. Totally.
At Mankato State, the hockey players are older.
That'd be awesome.
Turn on the air conditioning at the house last night. Got colder. When I was a kid, I kept my homework in a folder.
Oh! Get up! Come on!
Oh, my God.
Yeah!
A folder.
Fwam.
Janel Klein. All right, Randy. You ever had any plans to make a record, Janelle?
None.
You sure? What style would you sing? Would it be?
I can't sing.
You can't. What style would you go with?
No talent.
Would it be like the folksy stuff, like I will remember you?
I think one time I told you guys that I would try to do that one song where it's like a single note because I couldn't screw that up. Like if I had to do karaoke or something.
Oh, like Tequila?
Yeah.
Or like the song.
The song. Yeah.
That's not an easy one to sing.
Give me the chills.
You're talking about the crash test dummy.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I couldn't do that part. Only the part.
We'll do a duet then.
Yeah.
What about bop, 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 bop?
That's another one that's really hard, actually.
I think Janelle would do like real folksy, meaningful ballads like that. The song they play when you see dogs starving in a cage.
Oh, in the arms of the angels.
What's that one again? Oh, yeah, In the Arms of the Angel.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I hate that song.
Well, yeah, you hate it because the cats and the puppies are looking at you. They look into the camera as if to say, you got a 20 on you, don't you?
Yeah, seriously.
13 cents a day.
You could get me out of this cage, couldn't you?
It's so hard.
Sitting up in your big house in Coon Rapids. You ain't got $20 to get me out of this cage?
No. I'm donating today.
Yeah, my friggin' wife, she won't look at that ad when that comes
Well,
on.
I'm glad they at least have the music so that you know not to look at the TV. You know what's going on when you hear that song.
Wouldn't it be something if they played that video and then played Bop?
Oh, my God.
You'd be confused. Like, what the hell is this? What is with this upbeat pop?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to party.
There's an upbeat pop song, and they're showing cats in a hole. What is this? What am I supposed to do?
I have mixed emotions.
Don't know what to think.
Randy already left.
Yeah, I'm going.
You can go, Randy. You really can. It's been a long week. You can go.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, Randy.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Janelle's still hanging around. We'll be back with more from Jungle Jane when we come back, skis.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
The quality of your life is really comprised of the quality of the questions you ask yourself, because the quality of the questions creates the quality of your thoughts. And so if you can begin to ask better questions in life, you could have a better life. The reason you're not growing if you're not is because you're not looking to ask a better question. And when you begin to ask the right questions, I believe you begin to get the right answers.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
For Christ's sake, yeah, here we go. Welcome back to the Half-Assed Morning Show. Probably should give folks a little update on what the hell's going on around here. Janel Klein is here, and we're always happy to have Jungle Jane in the building with us. Josh, who did appear this morning at work, despite being sick and being unable to speak. He tried to sit in with us for a while, but right before we went live about an hour ago with Dick Bremer and Randy Shaver and Janel Klein, Josh had to go home. So the poor guy went home. He's feeling very sick, just in case anyone hadn't heard yet that the situation we're in is as such. So if hopefully he's already asleep, but if you're listening, Cubby, get well. By God, it's not the same without you. Sick as a dog, Janel.
I know. I heard his voice yesterday.
Yeah, it was
and
rough.
it took me a minute to figure out who it was. It didn't even sound like him.
Yeah, it was sad.
Some people thought it was kind of sexy, though.
Oh, I mean, it sounded great, but I couldn't tell.
He always gets whooped like this when he gets sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. It's never just like a gentle little cold.
So, yeah, just thought you needed a heads up there. That's why you're not hearing Josh on the radio this morning. We got Jungle Jane here. What else we've been talking about? Oh, yeah, so I forgot that Wapple and Dana and Ashley went off yesterday to Randy's golf tournament, and the three of you actually golfed. You got more balls than me. God, I hate golf. Here's a text from Sharp as a bowling ball Jesus. He said, I met Wapple at Randy's golf tournament yesterday. Let me just say that the term celebrity golfer seems to be thrown around quite loosely these days.
Oh, yeah. I even said that when I got there.
Uh-huh.
And every time I said it, I put it in the air quotes. Celebrity.
I was picturing Randy with just this long scroll of names, and he's crossing them all one by one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's going all the way down like, all right, well, this guy was an all-conference lacrosse player in 1998. Let's give him, nope, he's not, okay.
That was
All right.
Wapple's name was right under Bill Cosby. He scratched off Bill Cosby and said, that's not a celebrity I can use it. Oh, who's even lower than that? Okay, Wapple.
I felt so bad for the group because they're probably all excited. Oh, we're going to be with a celebrity. Maybe it's like Joe Mauer or Ron Gardenhire or something. And then here comes stupid old Wapple.
Wapple, what's the bigger stretch, that you're a celebrity or that you're a golfer?
Right, that's a great question.
He's a very good golfer, actually.
Are you a good golfer?
Yeah,
Wapple?
decent.
Wapple's very good.
Good.
My game is Frisbee golf.
Totally.
I'm incredible. Me and my hippie friends.
good at that, too.
I'm incredible at Frisbee golf.
Yeah, I used to play golf as a kid, and then when I moved out of my parents' house, everything got expensive, and golf is outrageously expensive. So that's when I went into Frisbee golf because it was a lot cheaper, and then now getting a little bit more money. But yeah, now I'm playing more golf now that I'm getting older.
You felt the same thing that I felt before and that Janelle has felt before when we've been invited to Randy's golf tournament and been given the title of celebrity golfer, who people pay to golf with. I felt the same thing you did. This is 20 years ago, where I didn't really understand what was happening at first. You know, I agreed to. Randy asked me if I want. I'd never been part of something like this before. And this is 20 years ago. Randy asked me to golf. I didn't know he meant, be that so-called. I hate using the word, but you have to be that so-called celebrity, and then people pay to go. Because they were all, I could see the disappointment on their faces immediately.
Yeah.
You just walk up, they have no idea who you are.
No,
it's oh, great.
And I was and still am awful awful at golf, so they had to endure that. Luckily,
that's
so you didn't
twice
help
as
the
bad.
team.
Yeah, they're not taking your ball.
didn't help the team at all. Luckily, I only golfed 9 holes. I know you guys did too, or I don't know. I only golfed 9 holes that day because I was scheduled for an interview with Trish Stratus.
Dude,
that's sweet.
So I had to leave
quit golf. Yeah.
So Janelle, you know what we're talking about. You've done it before.
Yeah. I do it
And
every year. I just couldn't make it yesterday.
Couldn't make it this year.
Yeah,
You
it was
know.
so.
You're a much bigger star than any of us will ever be.
Oh, God, no.
Yes.
No. And also, I'm not also a great golfer. I mean, so at least you have a good game, Waffle. That's probably more important.
But walking in the doors, it like everyone's like, "Oh, wow!" As I opened up the doors and stuff. And then I look behind me, and it's Tony Oliva. And I'm like, oh, that's why they're like, oh, wow.
Not you, Wobble.
Yeah. You're thinking, is my fly down?
I was like, what happened with me? Everyone's staring at me.
All right, so I'm glad you guys had fun. We were talking about drinking a little bit earlier with Dick Bremer. Dick Bremer was talking about, what was the brand of beer he used to drink when he was in college?
Fox Deluxe.
Fox Deluxe. And we got to talking about the drinks that we enjoyed when we were young. Underage maybe even, right? You can't afford maybe what you really want. You got to pay for the this or the that. You got to get a brand of beer or a brand of booze that maybe you're not crazy about, but it's all you can afford. Janelle, you were talking about a cinnamon-y type drink you enjoyed back in, was it Aftershock?
It was Fireball.
Oh, it was Fireball.
Oh, it was Fireball?
I couldn't think of what it was. I had to Google it. That's how old and lame I am.
You're not old or lame, but I didn't know that there was Fireball that long ago.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. Remember that listener that texted in? My favorite thing ever. I always call Fireball bitch whiskey now because of him.
Okay.
That was awesome.
I remember you calling someone a bitch about their love for Fireball. I had never seen it up until, 10 years ago.
Apparently, it's been out since 1984.
There you go.
Dang. Wow.
It was not a thing in my group. I didn't see it till about 10 years ago, but we were more or less.
You guys are too highbrow. You needed to come down to the 507.
You guys really love the cheap stuff down there?
I guess.
You have it on tap.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
right?
again, we drank, Black Label beer and Black's beer, Boone's Farm.
Yep.
Right. Boone's Farm. I forgot about that.
Everybody had their love affair with that because it was, a quarter when I was a kid? I don't know.
Yeah, my mom always
gross.
said it was cheaper to buy Boone's Farm by the crate than the bottle.
507. They went after the really cheap stuff. Here's a text on drinking. Listener says, I tried vodka. I'll get there because I know so little about booze, so sometimes I even get locked up in trying to describe. Listener says, I tried birthday cake flavored vodka.
Gross. That stuff sucks.
Yep. It's horrible.
Awful.
What do you mean?
So bad.
Is it the birthday cake part?
She goes straight to just saying it sucks.
It sucks.
Birthday cake flavored vodka. The listener says, I still can't be within 10 feet of an actual birthday cake.
Oh, see, that's not cool. That's stupid when it wrecks other things.
That'll ruin it for you for sure.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like cinnamon. I drank like a whole party jug of Fireball in 2 days and threw up both nights.
Of course.
Don't know why I did it the second night.
Party balls.
Oh, I love party balls.
I didn't think that you would have ever crossed paths with a party ball because I thought that trend was long dead by the time you were underage drinking.
Wait, party balls? That's what they call party jugs?
No,
we got
Is he thinking of something else? Oh, okay. I'm talking about party jugs. So they're just PJs. So they're just the biggest bottle of booze that you can buy.
Okay, sure.
But I know those are those like the little cocktails that come in the
No.
the ball? No.
A party ball. Janelle, tell her what a party ball
What's
was.
a party ball?
What I remember is that it's shaped like a ball.
Right.
And it's just beer, and there's a little tap on it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like
Yeah, I've seen those.
And it was plastic, and it was big in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Do they still make that?
No, they just look. They
No.
stopped in 2008. We always had the Bud Light ones. It came in the big square box with the big ball inside.
Yeah. Right.
And you
Yeah.
get a couple teams together, and so you can down the 5 gallons of beer the fastest.
Oh.
I'm surprised it went all the way to 2008. Now, tell me if anything changed between 1987 and when you started drinking them, Dana. Inevitably, once you drained the party ball, it then became a soccer ball
Yes.
that you kicked around the house party until everything was broken.
Yep.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
somebody would like cut it open and then do the old "I'm wearing it as a hat now."
Yeah, you had one or two. Somebody would take a piss in it or something. But anyway, yeah, the party ball. Janelle knows this stuff.
I'm not proud of this, by the way.
Well,
happened to everybody.
We're all drinkers. We all had to start somewhere. That's all there is to it. You had to start somewhere.
I started with E&J brandy. I used to call it dirty and cheap, and it was the best part about drinking brandy is that when you're in high school, nobody else wants to drink something dark, usually. Everybody wants the vodka, the beer, and so I'd wake up in the morning after a party, and I'd be the only one that has booze left.
Nobody was going to steal your brandy from you.
Nope, nobody wants that stuff.
That was good. Yeah, when you had the worst, you knew that nobody was going to try to snatch it out from under you. Okay, what is a buzz ball now? People are texting in a buzz ball. Is that a more modern term for party ball, or was it what you were trying to describe, Ashley?
Yeah, it's what I was trying to describe. So it's like an ornament shape. So it's like smaller like
Small?
that. Yeah, it's not too big. Maybe like you can hold it in your hand.
No, they make giant ones at not Wells Fargo. Wow. God, Total Wine. Total Wine has these huge
way.
They call them like Biggie Buzz Balls or something. They're massive.
Yeah, Ashley, right there.
Oh my gosh, I want one of those.
Yeah, Total Wine.
How sad would that
All
look?
right.
You're just sitting in your house alone with one of those, drinking the huge buzz ball.
You just put a tiny straw in the top and you're just sipping out of it.
I just want to go on record to say that I've never, ever felt uncomfortable even a little bit while drinking alone. Never, ever. Okay, back to the birthday cake-flavored vodka. Yeah, the sweet stuff was usually what would do me in.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young. I haven't touched the sweet stuff in, decades, but
somebody's probably
when I was young, that's what would get me real drunk and real sick. And I think I'm surely not alone in that.
Yeah, it's all the sugar.
Grilled cheese Jesus brought 99 bananas, which brought back a lot of bad memories.
Yeah, 99 bananas, apples, grapes.
What are we talking about here?
It's a booze.
It's a booze.
99 proof booze, which is pretty high, and it was very sweet, and it would mess you up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they made different flavors like grape, apple, banana. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah, Wampa, you mentioned the sugar, and sure, that played a role in my eventual demise, but it was more because a lot of it tasted so good. Sure, the sugar levels didn't help, but it was more just the mass quantities because it did. Some of that sweet stuff back in the day tasted so good. The first time, the early days of, I want to say late 90s is when I first started hearing about lemon-flavored beer.
Yep. Oh, Shandy.
Well, no, really, more sweet stuff. Sweeter than that. Maybe it wasn't even beer. It was like the early versions of what
Twisted Tea almost.
Something like that. I can't think of the brand name. But late 90s it was new.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
That type of stuff.
Okay.
That's more the type
like
of stuff.
wine coolers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of like a wine. Anyway, we had a boat party, a booze cruise, and this brand new lemon-flavored booze, beer, whatever the hell it was the sponsor of the cruise. And I had certainly done my fair share of drinking at this point in my life, but never anything quite like this. And it was so good. And I got so absolutely inebriated on this stuff. That was the night that I slept on my toilet.
Oh.
Was that nice?
Is that one that you woke up and you couldn't walk?
Yes.
Your legs were that asleep?
In the middle of the night, Janel Klein, I had to go potty.
Yeah.
And I sat down on the toilet and I was so blasted that I woke up there.
No.
And my legs didn't work no more.
Oh my gosh.
My legs did not work
And
anymore.
this was from some lemon concoction?
Yeah.
That's awful.
It wasn't Lynchburg lemonade. No.
That stuff's good.
It wasn't Doc Otis lemon beer. And I don't even want to, even if you gave me the correct answer, maybe I don't want to say it out loud just in case they're listening and they're going to think that I'm, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. But I just had never had anything so sweet and delicious like that. Janelle was talking earlier about you and your girlfriends. You would try to talk an older guy, like your girlfriend's older brother's cousin. You'd try to talk an older guy into buying booze for you.
Right.
This is funny. A listener says, and I think I said, It probably didn't take too much convincing. Bunch of pretty girls from Faribault. Hey.
Yeah.
You buy us some beer? Hell yes, I'll buy you some friggin' beer. One of our listeners said, I would buy 20-year-old Janel Klein weapons-grade plutonium if she asked me to. Weapons-grade plutonium. I don't care what I got to do.
I don't know. Nick's stories are maybe better. He just walks into a house and just grabs something.
We would steal hooch.
You
yes.
kept it simple.
That was fun.
We were derelicts that would steal if we didn't like your party or if we didn't think your party was cool enough. We would clean the shelves smooth off of any hooch and then deny ever being there because we did it often enough to where kids from our school would come up to us in the hallway and say, hey, I know you stole all of my booze. You got to give it back. My parents are coming home in a couple days. I'm going to get in real trouble. And we'd say, we weren't at your house party.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just total dicks, man.
That would be so frustrating.
It was terrible. Terrible. I regret the living hell out of it. I do. Because, of course, whenever anyone stole anything from my house party, boy, was I offended, right?
Yeah.
You know the story of all my Rod Stewart cassette tapes got...
No.
I still haven't let that go.
What?
You've never heard this story, Janelle?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's good.
My brother and I had a big keg party. I woke up and all of my Rod Stewart cassette tapes were gone.
Oh.
Nothing else was missing, but they had to take everything he ever did, solo, faces, whatever. All my Rod Stewart collection was gone.
What year was this?
Oh, 1988 or something like that.
That's so sad.
And Wapple knows the classic rock. Everything he did with Ron Wood, it was all gone.
Yep.
Every song he made with Jeff Beck, number one Rod Stewart fan in Wayzata, stole all of my... Probably in revenge for us cleaning their liquor cabinet out.
Probably.
They're probably sitting downstairs drinking a Buzzball, just listening to Rod Stewart.
Yeah, listening to Stay With Me.
Yeah.
Comb in their back pocket, feather in their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay with me. Who's that knocking on my door? Now we're moving on to Hot Legs. Gotta be 3:45. The guy he feels triumphant.
I won.
He hates Rod Stewart, but he's going to listen to all of them. Dicks, man.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, God, before you know it, we're going to get going again. Call it a day. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully with Josh. We'll see. Janel Klein is here. Janel, thanks for coming in. We were talking a lot about drinking today, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't know why, but we kind of got on that topic.
Well, it's so much fun, and everyone has a dozen stories or so.
True.
Yep.
It's so easy to talk about. You got it started, actually, we're putting it on you. You're the one. We kind of made ourselves out to sound like a bunch of drunks.
Well, we
That's
did.
true.
And it's Janelle's fault that we did. Okay, here's something that crossed my mind while we were playing commercials or whatever the hell we just did. So we talked a lot about the booze and whatnot and the beer, cheap stuff that we liked when we were kids and some of the adventures along with that. This crossed my mind while we were sitting here doing nothing. What's the most inappropriate place that you got yourself way too drunk? The most inappropriate situation or place or event where you... And I thought of, for me, it was a fundraiser. We've been talking about Randy Shaver's fundraiser Sunday night, and then yesterday he had his golf. I got just annihilated at a fundraiser. That's not what you're supposed to do.
No,
On
not.
purpose, or did it just kind of sneak up on you?
It snuck up on me. It was Paul Martin, one of my favorite people, local hockey player Paul Martin, Elk River High School, U of M, NHL, Olympic gold medalist. Maybe they didn't win a gold medal, but anyway, Olympic. Everyone knows Paul. One of my favorite people, great guy. Haven't seen him in a long time, but such an easy guy to like, Paul Martin. I got nothing but great things to say about him. He had a fundraising event at First Avenue a number of years ago. I don't want to say 5-6 years ago. Can someone look up he's got this great, it was called the Shine a Light Foundation or something. Someone can find it on their computer. And Paul invited me to the event. And yeah, Janelle, it was kind of accidental kind of snuck up on me. Did you find it, Dana?
Yeah, shine a light.
Shine a light.
The T on light is a 7.
Okay, right.
That's his name.
Sweater number. What's the basis of the thing? I forgot now.
Anti-bullying, suicide prevention, mental health awareness.
You know what? Yeah, and I thought that was really a great cause, and so I would go anywhere Paul asked me to go, but I also thought that's a great cause because I know people who struggle with those things, and so anyway, it was just like a perfect storm of nonsense where I believe during the afternoon I went to the Twins game. Had a couple. Didn't have, I didn't behave terribly.
Mm-hmm.
But then after the game is over, there's maybe an hour and a half or two before Paul's event started at First Avenue. So I stayed downtown, had something to eat. Then I go to the event. Now, all I really wanted to do, of course, was donate some money, maybe do the silent auction, this and that. Say hi to Paul, thank him for the invite, and I'd get the hell out of there. But, of course, he's the host. I couldn't get near the guy.
Yep.
So while I'm trying to find an opportunity to talk to the guy, I found myself just barreling through 16-ounce Coors Lights. I don't know. It was fun. My two goals were to talk to Paul and maybe talk to Zach Parisi, who I know was at the event too. And I just couldn't. Too many friends of theirs, close friends, hockey players are all mingling. I didn't want to. Next thing you know, I'm absolutely just wildly drunk. And I remember thinking to myself, what are you doing so drunk at this? And I'm by myself, so I'm just kind of staring at everybody.
Oh, that's so bad.
And I became self-aware.
And it was probably not like today where you could just sit and scroll on your phone through social media or something.
I just kind of stood at a distance staring at it. And then I realized, oh my God, I've become like a sick stalker, just watching Zach and Paul. I eventually did get a chance to talk to Paul. He probably didn't understand a word out of my mouth.
Oh.
But here's the worst part. By the time I left, it was still pretty early. I can't go home yet. I'm going to go over to Seville Club.
Oh, man. You made a day of it.
You're just soloing all of this, too, which is awesome.
By the time I got out of there, I could barely walk, so I'm driving home. I'm kidding. The next morning, almost p.m., the next day, my girlfriend at the time comes over to the house. It's like 11:30 in the morning. I'm still in bed. And she just says, my God, what happened to you? And all I could tell her, I said, I went to a fundraiser. And she went, what? And I said, there was more to the story. But that was inappropriate.
That's bad.
It's okay.
It was inappropriate.
I was too drunk at a funeral once. That was...
Oh, a funeral.
Yeah, I felt bad about that. It's like one of those things I still think about and just cringe. Why, Ashley?
You mean
Why?
you showed up drunk, or there was a little dinner after and you got...
But we showed up drunk.
Oh, you can't show up drunk.
It was a difficult funeral, so me and a couple of my friends were drinking and pulling some shots, and then next thing you know, you're like, wait, how many have we had?
I don't know if this was a great idea. You were kind of numbing the pain.
Yeah, and then
But you showed up too drunk.
When I was sitting there, I just remember becoming self-aware and thinking, I am way too drunk to be here. This is not good. I can't talk to anybody. I just got to leave. I got to get through the service and get the heck out.
I mean, like I was saying at the Paul Martin event, after a while, I noticed that people were looking at me and whispering back and forth, and I'm sure they were saying, who is this guy, and is he going to be okay?
How many beers has he had?
Good God.
He's double fisting.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of empty cups on his table.
So let me go make an ass out of myself at the Boom Boom Room for an hour or two, because I wasn't nearly drunk enough.
Yeah.
Let me clean a few more bottles of beer out at the Boom Boom.
Just add a little bit more shame to the evening.
Oh, my God. What can you do?
I remember one time I was way too drunk at a high school football game. You might think, well, hey, that's common. People have some drinks. You go to a high school football game. We were like 24.
No, Dana, no.
We were in college or just out of college and living downtown, and our former high school was in the prep bowl.
Yep.
And we were like, hey, let's get some beer. Let's go down. And it's a high school game, so I think we brought a flask in and running into old teachers. I think my parents were there.
No.
And then we're like, oh, man. There's the student section of 16-year-olds. And we're just like those old drunk alumni there.
See, I think that's
fun, though. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
We did that once when we were about 24, 25 when Wayzata got into the prep bowl, and I was okay. One of my buddies made an absolute jackass out of himself. Oh, my God. He's heckling kids. He's heckling grown folks. I could not stop laughing. It was so much fun. Janelle, you probably don't have any of these stories, do you?
I mean, I will say I sort of hit my peak early.
Yeah.
Right? And now, I mean, I'm so lame. I don't do anything.
Tell us about the night in college, because you went to Madison. Tell us about the night in college when you looked around. Did you have a self-aware night like we were describing where you said, oh, my God, I got to get out of here?
I'm sure there were many.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, it was a lot. I mean, I wish I knew what it was like now. I mean, I go over there sometimes for like events and meetings and things, and I always think, okay, is it like that now? I'm sure it is.
Oh, hell
sure
yeah.
it is.
Not much
right?
changes.
No.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
You ever think about stopping by one of the college houses and showing them how it's done, Janelle?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, we've talked about this. This is so common, but remember when you were 18, 19, and you would see adults come to campus and you'd go, gross.
Yeah.
What are those weirdos doing back here? And then, like, all of a sudden, you realize you're that person.
Yeah.
You blink and you're the old person.
I don't ever want to be that guy.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's fine if, somehow, some way, like at my house or a buddy's house, some younger people are drinking. That's one thing. I don't ever want to be the guy that walks into the college party.
No.
Hey, what's going on, young people? You know, because I know my nephew is there or something like that. I never want to be that guy. For Christ's sake. Well, thanks for popping in as usual, Janelle.
Thanks, you guys.
Send Cubby a text if you don't mind.
I'm going to. We
And
miss
tell
you,
him
Josh, if you're listening.
Stay strong.
I think a word from Jungle Jane would make him feel.
I'm going to do it.
Yes,
right
we appreciate it.
93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.